Disclaimer: it was a fanfiction story created by me. Please don't take it seriously. There is no match in this story and real life.
This story begins by showing two kids, a 9-year-old boy and an 8-year-old girl, both playing together on the terrace. They were best friends, so close that maybe they couldn't even spend a moment without each other. Wherever you saw one of them, you'd always find the other. They were always together. Time passed. The boy turned 25 and the girl became 24. But even after growing up, their friendship didn't fade. In fact, it became even stronger with every passing day. Their bond was so special that people in the old town would give examples of their friendship. Some people even gossiped, are they really just friends, or maybe more than that? Because the way they cared for each other didn't feel like just friendship. And in such a deep bond, one question always comes in everyone's mind: did either of them ever fall in love with the other? And the answer is not, or maybe yes, because how can anyone truly know what's in someone's heart? So, what happens in this beautiful friendship? Does one of them secretly love the other, or are people just misunderstanding them? Let's find out in the story ahead. Yn and Jungkook, a 25-year-old guy, tall, handsome, hot, and talented. In one word, a fictional man living in the real world, the kind every girl dreams of, but only one gets to keep. The son of a rich family who lives life on his own terms. He loves adventures, he's smart and clever, but always hides his sharp mind behind his cute smile. No one can guess what's in his heart or what his next move will be. His anger is dangerous, used to destroy anyone. He is bold and never afraid to fight anyone anywhere. He has a mom, dad, and a elder brother who is 3 years older than him, but he has one and only weakness: his childhood best friend YN. For YN, he can do anything, even or someone, because she is his whole world, but not his girlfriend. She is his best friend, and no one can ever take YN's place in his heart. Park YN, a 24-year-old girl, cute, beautiful, full of talk, and full of kindness. She can win anyone's heart with her sweet words. Daughter of a middle-class family, topper of her university, always ready to help anyone in need, everyone's favorite. She never hurts anyone and never tolerates being hurt. She has a mom, dad, and a 12-year-old younger brother. She is playful and fun, but also wise and patient. She knows how to respect elder and love the younger. Her strength and her weakness is only one person, Jungkook. For him, she is ready to face anything. She can bear any pain. She can even give up her life for her best friend, because he is her entire world and universe, but not her boyfriend. He is her best friend, and no one can ever take Jungkook's place in her heart. Kim Taehyung, tall, handsome, charming, and kind-hearted, a billionaire. In one word, the dream man of every girl. He is Jungkook's elder brother, a man who only focuses on work, and when he is free, he sits with friends and enjoys simple, quiet chit-chat. He is smart and calm by nature. He loves his family deeply, and for Jungkook, he is not just a big brother, he is his hero. There's a lot of love between these two brothers. Because of work, Taehyung mostly lives abroad. Let's show the love and the difference between the two brothers through a memory from the past. Years ago, Jungkook was 18 years old, Taehyung was 21. One day, Taehyung's mom and Taehyung were sitting in the living room talking peacefully. Suddenly, Jungkook's dad entered the house angrily, dragging Jungkook in with him. He was shouting at him loudly. Seeing this, Jungkook's mom rushed forward, pulled him into a tight hug, and looked at her husband with anger in her eyes. Mom, why are you scolding my son like this? What do you get from hurting him this way? Dad, do you think I am scolding him for no reason? I don't have any personal problem with him. Just look at your dear son's action. Look at Taehyung, so calm, mature, and responsible. And now look at him. Can anyone believe that he is Taehyung's younger brother? Mom, so what if one son is mature, the other has to be spoiled, right? Not everyone is the same. Dad, of course, you will always support your precious son, no matter what. Mom, just like you do, the way you always support your precious one. Truth is, Jungkook is his mother's favorite and Taehyung is his father's favorite. But that's just how it looks from the outside. The truth is, both parents love both their sons equally. After all, aren't both of them a part of their hearts? Mom, at least tell me what he did now. Why are you shouting at him, my innocent boy, like this? Dad, innocent? Him? Science when? Mom, science always. Dad, of course, this is all you can do. Just look at your elder brother, learn something from him. At this age, he is managing work and studies together. Can you do that? Jungkook, I don't need to learn anything from Hyung. He's too simple. Just wait. Maybe one day he will have to learn from me. Dad, look at your son. This is how he talks now. He doesn't know anything, just keeps throwing big dialogues. Mom, you better stay quiet. If he knew nothing, would he speak like this? My son is smart. He knows everything. Dad, fine. We will know soon. Let's test it. Let's have a challenge between the two brothers. Mom, don't regret it later. Dad, we will see who regrets it after the test. So, Taehyung song, do you have any problem with this? Taehyung, no, Dad. Mom, my child, are you ready? Jungkook, always, Mom. Dad, alright, then come with me. Mom, here. Dad, you will know once we reach. Jungkook's dad brought them to a park, bought two water bottles, then give one to Jungkook and one to Taehyung and said to both of them, Dad, now let's see how you two sell these bottles and who sells it first. Then the brothers looked at each other. After thinking for a while, Taehyung said, Taehyung, there's only one shop in this park, so we can sell this bottle to someone who's far from the shop and very thirsty. Hearing this, Dad clapped and laughed loudly. Dad, bravo, my son. I knew no one could beat you. Now go and sell it. Taehyung, okay, Dad. Then Taehyung walked to the other side of the park. Dad looked at Jungkook and asked, Dad, what happened? Still no idea how to sell the bottle? Jungkook laughing, no, Dad. I'm just waiting for Hyung to finish so I can sell my after him. Mom, see, my son found his idea too. Dad, we will find out by his selling speed. A few minutes later, Taehyung came back after selling the bottle. Dad hugged him happily and patted his back. Dad, well done, my son. Taehyung, thank you, Dad. Mom, well done, son. Taehyung, thank you, Mom. Dad, so Jungkook, will you sell your bottle now or accept your defeat? Jungkook, laughing, Dad, I am your son. I never learned to give up. Dad, then go ahead and sell it. Your Hyung sold it in 15 minutes. Let's see how much time you take. Jungkook, Hyung, you did a really great job, but my way is different. People say only hard work gives you result. That's a lie. You get the same result by using your brain too. Hard work is good, but I believe in smart work. Then Jungkook removed his, tied it around his waist, took the water bottle in his hand, stepped forward and shouted loudly. Jungkook, is there anyone there who's thirsty and wants to buy this bottle from me? The moment he said this, a group of girls ran toward him, fighting with each other just to buy the bottle from him. Seeing this, his mom, dad, and elder brother stood there in shock, their mouths open, surprised by what just happened. His trick worked perfectly. Of course it will. When a handsome guy shows up like that, Chaos is granted. His brain really was sharp. And just like that, he sold the bottle in under 1 minute. Then Taehyung walked up to Jungkook, pulled him into a tight hug and said, Taehyung, you own my brother, you are truly amazing. Jungkook, he hugged his brother back just as tightly and said, No Hyung, even if I win 100 times, I can never be better than you. You are the best person in this world and you will always be because you are my hero. And now everyone must have clearly understood how deep the love is between these two brothers. So let's begin the real story now. The story begins with a girl sitting on a terrace. That girl is none other than YN. A boy is sleeping with his head resting on her lap. And obviously that boy is Jeon Jungkook. They are talking. YN, what's going on? You have been here with me for the past 2 hours and still your girlfriend hasn't called you. Did you break up with her again or what? Jungkook, no dude, she must be busy somewhere and anyway, I don't like talking to her on the phone all day. The less she calls me, the better for her. What kind of talk is this, Jungkook? She's your girlfriend, your relationship just started. Don't you think you should be spending more time with her? And instead, you are sitting here with me, she says, Will softly running her fingers through his hair. Jungkook, I like relationship like this. And about you, you are my breath. Where else can I go? Leaving you behind, can anyone live without breathing? Hearing this, YN quickly puts her hand on his mouth and angrily says, YN, don't you dare say something like this again. Jungkook, okay, sorry Papa, I won't say it again. And you please stop thinking so much about my relationship too. He joins hands in front of her like a drama queen. When how can I not think? Angrily, she removes his head from her lap and looks at him. You are on your 13th girlfriend now and I don't want her to break up with you like the last 12 did. Jungkook, but they broke up with me. How is that my fault? I never dumped them. Wani, yeah, of course, you are such an innocent saint, right? Who tells their new girlfriend on day one, one is my best friend, no one can ever take her place in my heart, and if you try to come between us, the result will be very bad. Say things like that, and of course, the girl will run away. Jungkook, but I didn't lie. Every relationship should start with honesty, right? So I told her the truth. YN moves close to Jungkook, holds his face gently in her hand, and looks into his eyes. Look Jungkook, I know you love me a lot, but think, will any girl be okay with her boyfriend loving his girlfriend more than her? No girl will be happy knowing she's not the first priority in her boyfriend's heart. It doesn't work like that, Jungkook. No girl wants to be second. Even I won't be able to handle it. Why don't you understand? Suddenly Jungkook her hair from behind and bringing her face very close to his gently. Jungkook, even after marriage, even when I have a wife, kids, and I am old and taking my last breath, I will still say no one can ever take your place in my heart. Hearing this, one looks at him with love in her eyes, then Jungkook speaks again. Jungkook, okay now, you tell me, if I give your place in my heart to some other girl, won't that hurt you? YN, no, it won't. Jungkook, really? Why not? Jungkook, alright then, I am going to tell my girlfriend right now that from today she is the number one in my heart. He stand up and slowly walks toward the terrace door. Seeing him go, YN starts smiling and thinks to herself. YN in her mind, he will come back in 5 seconds and say, I will tell her later. My mind's not in the mood right now. I need peace. And then he will hug me. And just as YN thought, after walking 7-8 steps, Jungkook came back and said, Jungkook, I will tell her later. Right now my head is spinning because of your lecture. I need peace, need to fresh my mind. The next morning, YN arrived at Jungkook's house. It was Sunday, so YN was free. She usually helped her dad at his small restaurant. Jungkook works with his father in business, and his elder brother Taehyung runs a business abroad. YN rang the doorbell and Jungkook's mom opened the door and welcomed her with a smile. Mom, come in, dear. YN, what's that smell, auntie? Something smells so good. Did you make pancakes? Mommy is my child, Dad. Oh, YN, how are you, dear? YN, I am good, uncle. How's your health? Dad, still surviving. Somehow by hearing your auntie's taunts every day. YN tries to hide her laughter. Mom, what did you say? YN hugs auntie from behind and gently pinches her cheeks. YN, come on, auntie. You already know uncle likes teasing you, and when you get angry, you look so cute. What can he do? Jungkook's mom pulls YN forward by her ears and says, Mom, you are getting more and more naughty every day. I know this sugar-coated talk of yours, and the way you always take your uncle's side. One day both you and your uncle will get up by me. When smiles cutely, Dad. Oh baby, now don't be angry. By the way, one said the truth. Whenever you get angry, you look even more beautiful. Hearing this, Jungkook's mom started to blush. Wine, oh auntie, you are blushing. Mom, okay, you know. Wine, dear, come and sit with uncle. I will bring pancake. Wine, but auntie, where's Jungkook? Dad, where is sleeping? Of course, your love is spoiling him more and more every day. Wine smiled nervously. I will go wake him up. Dad nodded. When Wine went upstairs, Mom said to Dad, Mom, such a sweet girl. Wherever she becomes a daughter-in-law, their house will be truly blessed. Dad, wherever? What do you mean by wherever? She will become a daughter-in-law in this house only. Do you think your son will let her go to someone else's house? Mom, it's nothing like that. They are just good friends. Dad, this kind of friendship, I have never seen such a friendship in my life. The way your son shows protectiveness and possessiveness for her, I don't think he will ever let her be someone else's bride. Mom, maybe you are right, but if there was something between them, Jungkook would have told me. He never hides anything from me. Dad, look, sweetheart, maybe even they don't know their own feelings yet. Maybe they are not sure about it themselves. But your son isn't just protective and possessive. Jungkook is obsessed with wine. You already know what all he can do when it comes to her. Mom silently nodded at upstairs in Jungkook's room. When Wan entered Jungkook's room, like always, the room was completely dark. So Wan walked slowly and opened one of the curtains so that some light could come in. As soon as the sunlight hit Jungkook's eyes, he turned his face the other way and spoke sleepily. Jungkook, Wan, please don't do this. Close the curtains. I want to sleep. Few minutes later, in the dining room, both of them came downstairs into the dining room where Mom and Dad were already waiting for them. They sat on their chairs. Mom, why did it take you both so long? Why, this monkey was still sleeping, Auntie, that's why. Dad, that's literally his job. As soon as Dad said that, Jungkook secretly slid his fingers under the table and gently over her. One suddenly started coughing loudly. Mom, patting her back worriedly. What happened, dear? Are you okay? Wine quickly tried to push Jungkook's hand away under the table, but Jungkook tightened his grip instead, so Wine grabbed his hand tightly, not letting him move it at all, and nervously smiled at Mom. Wine, I am fine, Auntie. She leaned in and whispered angrily to Jungkook. Wine, what are you doing? Move your hand right now. Jungkook, you know my dad very well, and still you had to bring up my sleep laziness in front of him. I'm not moving my hand. Wine, do whatever you want. I am going to sit next to Uncle. She got up and went to sit beside Uncle. Everyone started talking and eating breakfast. Suddenly, Dad said that, Jungkook, there is good news for you. Jungkook, what? Am I going to be a big brother? As soon as he said that, all three others started crashing out loud. Then Dad shouted, Dad, what nonsense are you talking about, Jungkook? Why? What did I say wrong? You said there is a good news, so I guessed it. Dad, that's the most ridiculous guess. You think that's the only kind of good news there can be? Jungkook, why not? That's usually what comes to mind first when someone say good news. Dad, talking to you is a waste of time. Jungkook, then don't talk to me. Dad, see your son. Mom, what's wrong with what he said? He's actually right. Dad looked at her like, seriously? Mom, he is your son. Of course he will talk just like you. Dad, I am not like this at all. Why, you were exactly like this, uncle. Back in the day, Grandma used to say you were just like Jungkook when you were young. Dad, what grandma? Whose grandma? Jungkook. Your mom, my grandma. Dad, oh, Wine and Mom both shook their head in disbelief. Jungkook, so what's the good news? Aren't you going to tell us? Dad, just this, your hero is coming back in a few days. As soon as Jungkook heard that, he stood up from his chair, eyes sparkling with excitement. Wine smiled watching him because she knew just how much he loved his big brother. Wine had only seen Jungkook's brother once or twice in childhood. He had lived abroad since then, so Wine never met with him again. Maybe now they finally will. But the real question is, will this be just a normal meeting, or will his return twist this old story onto a new path? Will Wine and Jungkook's deep years-long friendship stay strong, or will something break it? Let's move ahead. At evening, after breakfast, Jungkook went to the office, and Wine, like always, spent her free time teaching poor kids, especially those who couldn't afford school. As I already told you, she deeply loved helping people. It gave her peace. That evening, after finishing the classes, she was walking back home when she notices something across the street. Old man, thank you, sound really thank you. After that, Jungkook carried Wine home his home. On the way, he made a quick phone call to her parents. Jungkook on call. Uncle Wine's staying at my place tonight. Okay, take care of yourself and don't worry about her. Wine's father, I don't have to worry about her when you are with her. Her parents know him very well. It wasn't unusual anyway. Sometimes Wine stay at Jungkook's home and sometimes he stay at hers. Truth was they practically lived in each other's shadows. Jungkook took Wine to his room and helped her sit on the bed. Jungkook, you freshen up. Do you need any help from me? Wine just nodded. Jungkook, what? Wine, lowering her head, softly said, I hurt my right elbow when I fell after that. It's hurting a lot. Can you please help me change my... Hearing about her injury, it felt like Jungkook's heart was breaking. He blamed himself completely for her pain. Only one thing was using in his mind. If I had reached just a little earlier, she would be hurt like this. Without another word, he gently pulled Wine into his arms, pressed her head to his chest, and softly ran his finger through her hair as he spoke in a trembling voice. Jungkook, I'm sorry, Wine. I'm really very sorry. I couldn't protect you. Just from his voice, Wine could tell Jungkook was crying. She immediately pulled back from his arms and looked at his face. Tears were flowing from his eyes. Wine gently wiped them with her palm and softly stroked his cheek with affection. Wine, it's not your fault, Jungkook. It was written in my fate. That's why it happened. Please don't blame yourself for it. Jungkook pulling her into his chest again. If it's fate's doing, then from today I will erase every line from your destiny that brings you pain, wounds, or even the slightest hurt. For a while they both stayed like that, holding each other quietly in their arms. No words, just warmth and healing. Then slowly Jungkook pulled back and gently said to her, Jungkook, I will help you. He said this while pulling out a handkerchief from his pocket. He folded it and tied it around his eyes, blindfolding himself. Seeing that, One reached out and placed his hand on her shoulder, guiding him. After that, Jungkook slowly and carefully helped her change her clothes. Once it was all done, he finally untied the blindfold from his eyes. Actually, this wasn't the first time Jungkook had helped her like this. There were many moments in the past, like when she had a high fever. He had been there to take care of her in the same gentle way, even though they joked around and shared silly moments. Jungkook had never crossed a single line. He knew YN had given him all rights over her, but he never took advantage of that trust. What they shared was something pure, and Jungkook would never let anything run that ever. Days started passing like this, and YN and Jungkook's friendship also went on just like before. On the other side, Jungkook's relationship with Maria started becoming stronger. For the first time in his life, Jungkook's relationship lasted more than 2 months, and YN was genuinely happy for him because deep inside she also wanted him to take life seriously, to find love and peace. Now the time for Taehyung's return was close to. Only 2 days were left, so YN picked up the phone and called Jungkook. YN, hello Jungkook. Jungkook, yes. YN, shut up. Jungkook, laughing softly. YN, did you buy a gift for your brother? Jungkook, gift? What gift? Which gift? YN, what kind of brother are you? You call him your hero, right? And now your hero is coming home after years and you don't even feel like buying him a gift? Jungkook, I am the gift. Why would he need anything else? He said it proudly with that annoying smirk. YN, uncle was right. You are completely useless, she said while pretending to be annoyed. Jungkook, laughing. YN, anyways, listen, let's go shopping this evening, okay? We will pick something nice for your brother. Jungkook, this evening? YN, yes, why? Jungkook, actually I have a date planned with Maria tonight. YN, oh, and you don't even tell me. You are becoming quite this secretive life these days. Jungkook, it's not like that. I was just about to tell you. YN, it's okay, my love. Go and enjoy your time, but take care, okay? Don't make her upset. Jungkook, okay. After ending the call, YN started thinking to herself. YN thoughts, this is the first time he said no to me. Before this, if I said just one word, he would cancel meetings, leave business deals, even skip flights just for me. But now, is love taking him away from me? Is our friendship no longer the same? Will he stop loving me like before? Will this bond, this pure, unshakable connection just fade away like nothing ever happened? So many years, so many memories. Will they all vanish just like this? After fighting with her own thoughts for some time, YN finally whispered to herself. YN, why am I overthinking? Why am I feeling sad? If not today, this had to happen someday. I should be happy for him. He finally found someone he can truly love, and it's not like I can stay with him forever, right? One day I will also get married. I will have to go into someone else's house. I will have to become someone else everything. So yes, I am happy for him. No matter what, I just want him to stay happy, she said with a soft smile. At evening, YN was working at her father's restaurant, helping him like always. She was clearing tables and taking orders with a calm smile on her face when suddenly she heard a familiar car horn from outside. Beep, beep. She instantly recognized it. She didn't even wait. She rushed outside with excitement in her steps, like her heart was already waiting for him. And there he was, Jungkook, leaning against his car, his arms crossed, his eyes locked only on her. YN looked at him and smiled through teary eyes. Her eyes sparkled not with sadness, but with something more powerful, hope. Maybe this was a moment, just a small one, but for her it was proof that no matter what happens, no matter how hard things get, this guy, he will always come for her. Maybe it was just her imagination, maybe it was the voice of her heart, or maybe, just maybe, this was her destiny whispering to her, he will always there for you no matter what. But who really knows what's written in faith and what's just a beautiful illusion? Because the truth is, there's still one part of this story that hasn't been revealed yet. A twist that's waiting to turn the old story into something unforgettable. YN ran toward Jungkook, and the moment she reached him, she hugged him tightly around his neck with all her heart. Jungkook hugged her back, wrapping his arms around her gently, but he was confused and a bit worried as he asked her, Jungkook, what happened? YN, are you feeling okay? His tone filled with concern. YN in a soft, low voice. Yes, I am fine. I just missed you. Jungkook, if you were missing me, then why didn't you come to meet me? YN, I thought maybe you were busy with your work. Jungkook, I can never be so busy that I don't have time for you. After hearing those words from him, YN hugged him even more tightly. They both stood there silently holding each other with warm hearts. But suddenly the car door opened and a girl stepped out and spoke. Hi, YN. YN started, turned her head. Maria, feeling nervous, she quickly tried to remove her hands from Jungkook's hold. But Jungkook tightened his grip on her and pulled her. Then he said with a teasing smile, Jungkook, you said you were missing me, right? Then where are you running away now? When trying to push Jungkook's hand off her, now where? I am right here, just remove your hand. Then looking toward Maria, she smiled politely and asked, how are you, Maria? Maria, I am good. One kept trying to move Jungkook's hand from her and again. But Jungkook just held her tighter even every time. Maria saw all this and smiled softly as she said, Maria, it's okay, YN. You don't need to be so worried. I already know about your friendship with Jungkook. He told me everything himself. And honestly, I have no problem with it at all. You both should stay just the way you are. I am happy that he has a friend like you. Your friendship with Jungkook is an example for the old city. Not everyone gets to have such a beautiful bond. And I am not the type of girl who gets jealous seeing her boyfriend talk to another girl. I understand these things well, so please don't think that I will feel bad seeing all this. In fact, I am happy to see this bond between you two, she said with a soft and kind smile. Maria's words brought peace to Jungwon's heart too. She also smiled gently. Now she finally understood why this time Jungkook's relationship didn't break like before, because Maria wasn't just beautiful but also very understanding and wise. That's why she was still with Jungkook, and when seeing him with someone so good felt genuinely happy from the heart. Jungkook, Maria and I came here to take you with us. We have to buy a gift for Taehyung, right? One, but you two were supposed to go on a date. Then Jungkook looked at her face with so much love and said, Jungkook, is it ever possible that you ask me something and I say no? One, but I don't want to go. You two can go and buy any gift. I don't want to come between you guys like a third wheel. Maria, who told you that you do be a third wheel between us? In fact, if you come along, Jungkook will be very happy and I will also get help in understanding him better. Plus, I will become good friends with you too. One, friendship can always happen, but today is a special day for you both and I don't want to interrupt. Jungkook in a serious voice, are you going to walk to the car by yourself or should I lift you and take you there? One shocked eyes wide, I'm not going, sleepyhead. After saying that, one turned back toward the restaurant, but Jungkook grabbed her and trying to her into the car. One shouted and struggled. One, Jungkook, are you crazy? What are you doing? Let me go. Maya started laughing, watching both of them like that. Jungkook finally laid YN down, then YN quietly leaned close to Jungkook's ear and whispered, YN, look Jungkook, I know Maya doesn't mind all this. She is really friendly and mature, but that doesn't mean you should behave like this in front of her. Even if she says it doesn't affect her, maybe deep inside she still feels hurt, and I don't want that. After hearing this, Jungkook smiled a little because he knew very well how much YN cared about the people around her. Then he turned to Maria. Jungkook, Maria, go sit in the car. I have to talk to YN. We will be there in a moment, okay? Maria, okay. YN, confused. What do you want to talk about? After some time later, all three reached a shopping mall. As they entered, Maya slowly moved aside, walking alone innocently. Seeing her like that, one walked to her, gently held her hand and placed it into Jungkook's hand. Then she spoke softly, YN, you both are a couple, so act like one. Enjoy together. I will go find a nice gift for Oppa, okay? Jungkook quickly grabbed YN's hand and her to him and said with a teasing grin, Jungkook, oh, Oppa, what's this now? Already calling him Oppa? Well, my Taehyung is actually very handsome. Don't lose your heart after seeing him. YN lightly tapping Jungkook on his cheek. I am YN, okay? I don't lose my heart so easily for just anyone. Only someone really special, someone truly rare will ever get a place in my heart. Jungkook raising his eyebrow with curiosity. Really? So will you give that special guy even my place in your heart? One pinching his cheek and smiling. That special guy will get a place in my heart. But you live in every single heartbeat of mine. In every breath I take, you exist in every feeling I feel. You live in my very being. Even in my veins, your name flows. Even if life takes me far away, no one will ever be able to erase your name from me. Every word she said touched Jungkook's heart deeply. He could feel the truth in her words, and in that moment, Maria suddenly interrupted them. Maria, wow, you two really are very different. Jungkook just smiled while smiling. Come on, now it's getting late. Jungkook, okay. They all did the shopping together. Then Jungkook first dropped Maria at her home. After that, he went to drop YN at her place. While standing at the door, Jungkook looked at her and said softly, Jungkook, sleep early, okay? YN, why? You are not coming today, Jungkook? Sweeter, tomorrow morning we have to start preparing early for Taehyung's arrival. Dad has organized a big party to celebrate. There's a lot of work to do at home and you need to come early too because he heard gently from the and whispered, nothing will be done without you for me. YN smiled, okay, I will come. By the way, invite Maria too. It will be a good chance for her to meet your family and she will get to bond with them nicely too. At her words, Jungkook playfully rubbed his face on her shoulder to tickle her and said, Jungkook, okay, Dumbo. YN shouting, Jungkook, please let me go. Laughing, please. After bothering her for a while and laughing together, Jungkook finally let go of her. But right then, YN grabbed his ear and twisted it hard. YN, if you call me Dumbo again, just see what I will do. Jungkook, let go, YN. YN laughing, okay, bye, good night, and take care of yourself. Jungkook, good night, baby. You take care too. After saying that, Jungkook her forehead sweetly, then he gave her a warm hug and left for his home. YN also went inside her house. Next morning, early in the morning, when arrived at Jungkook's house, today something was different. Something felt new. Maybe it was the first time in years that Jungkook had woken up early without anyone waking him up. He was looking super excited and genuinely happy. And why wouldn't he be? After all, his big brother was returning after a long time. The happiness was clearly visible on his face, and then when arrivals added even more sparkle to that joy. As soon as YN saw him, she asked, YN, what's going on today, mister? You look very happy. Upon hearing her, Jungkook smiled and replied warmly, Jungkook, why won't I be? After all, my hero is coming back today. YN started smiling. Did you tell Maria to come too? Jungkook nodded with a smile. YN, then let's get to work. Jungkook, first let me get charged a little. I have been waiting for my charger since morning. Two hours later, while they were busy doing work, 2 hours passed. Then suddenly the doorbell rang. YN went to open the door and saw Maria standing outside. As soon as Maria saw YN, all the happiness disappeared from her face. She asked in a slightly surprised tone, Maria, you came this early. YN thought Maria was a mature, smart and loving girl, so she smiled and said, YN, I have been here for 2 hours now, but why did it take you so long to come? Maria, actually I had some work to finish. YN, oh okay, forget all that. Come inside. I will introduce you to Jungkook's parents. Maria didn't say anything. She just started thinking in her mind. Maria's thought, finally I got entry to this house. Now watch how I make Jungkook's parents take my side, and after that, step by step, I will win over Jungkook's too. Then I will erase one from his life like she never existed. With that thought, she walked inside the house with YN. As they entered, YN took Maria to meet Jungkook's mom. Fine, auntie, here's your future daughter-in-law. Mom was totally stunned that even chocolate on his string. Just then Jungkook appeared behind Wine, put his hand on her shoulder, laughing. Jungkook, my chatterbox papa, don't say things like that out of nowhere. Or one day you will actually give my parents a heart attack. Wine confused. Why? Jungkook leaned closer and whispered in her ear. Jungkook, because my poor parents have been dreaming of you as their daughter-in-law for years. So if you introduce someone else with that title, how do you think they will feel? He said it while trying to suppress his laugh and then run away before Wine could react. It took her a second to understand, but when she did, she yelled after him. Wine, stop right there, you monkey. I won't spare you today. Just wait till I catch you. I will twist your face so bad it will match a. They ran around laughing and shouting, creating chaos like always. After a while, they calmed down and sat. Jungkook, Maria, and Dad sat in the living room talking. Will Wine went to the kitchen to help Jungkook's mom. Mom, Wine, what's going on? Who is that girl? Wine, that's your son's new girlfriend. She is really pretty, isn't she? Mom, oh, so she's his girlfriend. Pretty, yes, but what's the use? Nothing pleases my son's eyes. She smiled dramatically and looked at Wine. Mom, who knows where the woman he actually likes is hiding? Wine went behind her and hugged her tight, lightly pinching her cheeks. Wine, oh my beautiful auntie, why are you stressing so much? That girl, the one he truly loves, is right here. Mom, he's had girlfriend before too. How long do they last? A month? Two max, never more than that. One, but this one's different, auntie. This time it's real. Your son is truly in love. This isn't just some fling. They have been together for 4 months now. Mom shocked. What? Wine. Yes, auntie, and not just that. Your son has done some things for this girl that he never did in any past relationship he ever even meets her late at night, and guess what? He is even gone shopping for her. Something he's never done for any girl except for me. Jungkook's mom looked even more shocked while laughed seeing her reaction and said, Wine, congratulations, auntie, you have got a beautiful and sweet daughter-in-law. After saying that, Wine left the kitchen. Jungkook's mom stood there lost in thought. Mom's thought, so was what we were thinking all this time just our imagination? Was it really just friendship between them that we misunderstood as love? Is Jungkook's obsession and deep feelings for Wine really just because of friendship? And Wine's love and care and connection towards him also just because of friendship? Maybe Jungkook was right all along when he said they are just friends. Yes, very close and special friends, but still only friends. Her thoughts weren't over it when Maria walked into the kitchen. Politely, she asked,
Maria, auntie, can I help you with anything? Mom, no dear, I will manage. You can go sit with everyone. Then Maria said, Maria, can I stay here for a bit and talk with you? Mom, yes, of course. Maria, auntie, don't you get bored staying alone at home all day? Mom, no, actually, when no one's home, I go to the neighbors' places and chat with them. Maria, oh, Mom, by the way, who's in your family? Maria, our family is small, just me, my mom, and dad. Mom, oh, Maria, acting normal. One comes here often, right? Mom, yes. Maria then changed her tone a little, acting all casual and innocent, hiding her real motives. Maria, One is a really cute and good girl. Mom, yes, she is a very sweet child. You know, whenever she comes into this house, it feels like the whole place lights up. Maria gave a fake smile. Then, after a pause, she walked a bit closer and showed a worried expression. She softly said, Maria, auntie, Wine is really sweet and her friendship with Jungkook is really strong, but she stopped talking and looked down like she was too nervous to speak further. Mom, but what? Maria, please don't take it the wrong way, auntie. I am saying this only because I care about Jungkook. Wine is a great girl, but is it okay for a girl to be this close with a boy all the time? To come over all the time, to always be with Jungkook so closely? People will judge both her and Jungkook. We might understand that they are just friends, but will everyone else understand? Won't Jungkook's name get spoiled because of this? Maria said all this in an innocent tone. Jungkook's mom stayed silent for a moment, then gave Maria a tight smile, a smile that said everything. She had clearly understood Maria's jealousy. Then she spoke without showing any emotion. Mom, what you said today? Okay, you have said it, but don't say it again, and never ever say it in front of Jungkook, because when it comes to YN, he forgets who's standing in front of him. As for YN being in this house all the time or being so close to Jungkook, Mom looked at Maria straight in the eye and added in a slightly taunting tone, Mom, Jungkook has given her that right, and until now he is never given that right to anyone else. She doesn't just stay in this house. She even stayed in Jungkook's room with him. They even the old city probably knows about it, but no one says anything because everyone knows how they have always been and about one's reputation. Then they also know that what Jungkook can do if anyone even raises a finger at YN. After saying all that, Jungkook's mom gave Maria another tight smile and walked out of the kitchen. After she left, Maria clenched her teeth in anger and muttered, Maria, I will crush this so-called forever friendship under my feet. Just wait and watch. Since morning till evening they had been busy decorating. Time kept flying with laughter, teasing, and a little bit of playful argument. Then suddenly YN secretly took Jungkook's phone, walked a little away, and showing his phone to him, she said, YN, Jungkook, should I show everyone that special app from your phone? The one with all those nice videos? She said in a mischievous tone while smiling. Jungkook, if you don't have any problem with it, then go ahead and show it. YN, completely shocked and speechless, blinking. Jungkook, laughing softly. What happened, YN? Show everyone. What were you planning to show? He said gently, trying to hold back his laugh. YN, you shameless guy, she said while scratching her nose. Jungkook, raising his eyebrow. Shameless? Now wait. Now I will show everyone that app myself, and I will also tell them that all those videos we watched them together. Hearing this, YN was totally shocked, and Jungkook slowly started walking toward her with that naughty smirk on his face. YN started panicking because she knew very well how stubborn Jungkook is. Winning against him, not possible at all. And if he really shows that app to everyone, just as a joke, her respect will go down the drain. Thinking all this, she quickly grabbed his phone and started running fast. Jungkook, what happened, sweetheart? Why are you running away now? Come on, let's show everyone that app, he shouted while running after her, laughing loudly. YN, monkey, stop following me. I am sorry. I won't ever say anything like that again. Just please don't show that app to anyone, she said while running away from him. Jungkook, now no matter what, I will definitely going to show that app to everyone. While running, YN went downstairs quickly, but Jungkook didn't notice her going down and ran off, searching in the opposite direction. YN, meanwhile, was still running and looking back again and again to make sure Jungkook wasn't behind her. But suddenly she bumped into someone and was about to fall when that person quickly grabbed her by the waist and saved her from falling. She got scared and slowly opened her eyes, and the moment her eyes met his face, she couldn't look away. She was completely lost in his face, as if she was hypnotized by his presence, and that man too kept staring at her as if time had frozen for a second. Both of them were standing still in the same position. Just then Jungkook came running, still searching for YN, and when he saw them, he screamed loudly with happiness and excitement. Jungkook, Taehyung? The moment YN heard his voice, she came back to her sense and realized that the man she had been staring at, the one who saved her from falling, was none other than Jungkook's big brother Taehyung. As soon as she understood, she quickly stepped back and stood up, lowering her eyes in embarrassment and said, "Wine, I'm sorry, I'm really sorry," she said, feeling extremely awkward and shy. Taehyung, "It's okay," he replied with a soft, warm smile. Before he could say anything else, Jungkook came running and tightly hugged him, shouting with pure joy, "Jungkook, Hyung, my hero, you are back. Missed you, Hyung. I missed you so much." Taehyung also hugged him tightly and said with a sweet smile on his face, "Taehyung, I missed you too, my devil brother." Jungkook, laughing like a kid, once thought Jungkook was right. His brother really is handsome. After their emotional hug, Jungkook looked toward YN and then said to Taehyung, "Jungkook, Hyung, remember I used to say on every call the day you came back I will introduce you to my life, my heart, my everything, my best friend. So here she is." Taehyung, "YN, right?" YN stood frozen, a little surprised. Jungkook, "Yeah, Hyung, this is my YN." He wrapped his arms around YN from behind and hugged her while saying this with love in his eyes. Taehyung, "Hi YN, I have heard a lot about you from this little brother of mine. It's really nice to finally meet you." YN, "Hello," she said nervously, stammering. Jungkook, "Oh, now she is even stirring." He teased her with a cheeky grin. YN, blushing hard, "Shut up, monkey." Hearing their silly banter, Taehyung burst out laughing. Mom and Dad were also very happy to see Taehyung. Both of them hugged him tightly. Then Dad asked him, "Dad, son, weren't you supposed to come down tomorrow?" Taehyung, "Yes, Dad, but I thought I'd surprise you all." Mom, "That was a good idea. We were missing you so much." Taehyung, "I missed you both a lot." After that, everyone sat together and talked for a while. Then all of them had dinner together. During this time, Jungkook introduced his girlfriend to his brother properly. Then after dinner, when Jungkook was about to drop YN and Maria home, he asked Taehyung, Jungkook, "Hyung, will you come with me?" Taehyung, "Where?" Jungkook, "I am going to drop YN and Maria to their homes. This way you will get to roam a little with me too." Taehyung looked at YN once, then said, Taehyung, "Alright, let's go." YN in thoughts, "I'm already getting so nervous seeing this guy, and now this monkey is making it worse by taking him along." Then all four of them left on the way. When they were dropping Maria, the car ride stayed quiet, but when it was time to drop YN, Jungkook as always her forehead and said, "Jungkook, go now, sleep early and take care of yourself. Bye." Just then Taehyung also said to YN, "Taehyung, bye YN." Hearing Taehyung, YN got nervous again. Then she softly said, "YN, bye." But even this time her words started trembling again. So Jungkook teasingly said, "Jungkook, what's the matter? You are stuttering a lot today. Is it because of Hyung's effect?" Hearing this, YN's eyes widened and she quickly said bye and ran inside her house. Seeing her like that, both brothers started laughing. Taehyung, "Cute," he said softly with a smile, which Jungkook didn't hear. One day later morning. In morning, YN was walking with her dad at their restaurant just like every day. Then she got a call from Jungkook. She picked it up and Jungkook said, "Jungkook, be ready, we are coming." YN confused, "Be ready? Ready for what? What do you mean we are coming? Who's coming? You and Maria?" Jungkook, "We are going out for a ride. You are coming with us, me, Maria and Hyung." The moment she heard Taehyung's name, YN's heart started beating faster. She became nervous again and quickly said, "YN, no, I am not coming. You guys go." Jungkook, "Don't act prissy now. YN, please try to understand. I really can't come. I have to stay here and help Dad at the restaurant. There's a lot of work. You guys go. I will come next time." Jungkook, "Are you coming yourself or should I come drag you out of your house?" When I said I am not coming. Jungkook, "YN, 1 minute. Hyung wants to talk to you." YN, "What? But why?" She got even more nervous. Taehyung, "Hello YN." In reply, no words came out of YN's mouth. It was like she forgot how to speak. She herself couldn't understand what was happening to her. Why was her heart beating so fast after hearing Taehyung's name? Why was she getting so nervous around him? What exactly did her heart want from her? Then Taehyung spoke again. Taehyung, hello YN, can you hear me? YN, huh? What? Taehyung, first good morning. YN, huh? Yes, good morning. She didn't even know what she was saying in her nervousness, and again her words started to tremble. Taehyung, will you come out with us? Actually, I didn't even want to go, but Jungkook never listened to me. He is dragging me out, and I really don't want to be the third wheel between those two. So if you come with us, I will get some company too, if you don't mind. His voice was so soft and his words were so gentle and respectful that it would be hard for anyone to say no to him. And one was already in a daze, lost in the feelings her heart was making her experience. Her focus wasn't on the conversation but on her rapidly beating heart and this new emotion. Wine, okay, Taehyung, thank you. Then Jungkook took the phone back from Taehyung and said to Wine, Jungkook, when I asked you, you were full of tantrums, and the moment Hyung asked, you agreed in 1 second. Wow, Wine. Then he said dramatically, I never knew my friend would become such a stranger to me. Wine, shut up, monkey. Jungkook laughing. Okay, get ready. Quickly, we are coming. Wine, okay. 30 minutes later, when Jungkook reached in front of Wyan's house with the car, he pressed the horn twice and Wyan immediately understood that Jungkook had arrived. She came out of her house and started walking toward the car. She saw Jungkook sitting in the driver's seat and Maria was sitting beside him. When she reached near the car, Jungkook looked at Maria and said, Jungkook, Maria, go sit in the back seat. Wyan will sit here. But before he could complete his sentence, Wine interrupted him and said, Wine, no, Maria, you sit there. I will sit in the back. Jungkook, but Wine, no, but you both sit together. I will sit in the back seat. Saying this, she walked over to the back door and opened it. The moment she saw Taehyung sitting inside, her eyes grew wide in surprise, and then she started thinking to herself. Once thought, why did I say I will sit in the back? I completely forget. This man is also coming with us. What's going to happen to me now? What if I of a heart attack? Dear heart, please have mercy on me and stop beating so loudly, or else everyone will hear how fast you are racing. She stood there holding the door open, lost in her thoughts, when Taehyung softly interrupted her thoughts and said, Taehyung, come in, Wine. He smiled gently. His voice snapped her back into reality. She looked at him, nodded quickly, and nervously said, When yes. Then everyone sat in the car and they began their journey. During the ride, everyone was chatting. Maria, Jungkook, and occasionally even Taehyung joined in, but Wine stayed completely silent the whole time. Watching her being this quiet, Jungkook looked at her, slightly concerned, and asked, Jungkook, what happened, Wine? Are you feeling okay? Why are you so quiet? How could she even explain the storm inside her heart? She wanted to share everything with her best friend, but what would she even say? She herself didn't understand what was happening in her heart since yesterday. Ever since she saw Taehyung. So instead she gave a small smile and softly replied, Wine, no, I am completely fine. Some time later, they all reached a market. After parking the car and stepping out, Jungkook suddenly held Wine's hand, pulled her gently toward him, cupped her face with both hands, and looked into her eyes before asking, Jungkook, are you really okay? Just for a moment, but seeing Jungkook's face gave Won's heart a deep sense of peace. It was like all her restlessness melted away. She smiled softly and said, Won, I'm totally fine. How could anything happen to me when you are with me? She said with a gentle smile. Hearing her words, Jungkook hugged her tightly. While rubbing her back, he said in a protective voice, Jungkook, I will never let anything happen to you, never. Taehyung saw them and smiled warmly, but Maria's face slowly lost all signs of peace. Her heart filled with discomfort. She couldn't stand how close the two of them were, and she desperately wanted to create distance between them. After some time, all four of them entered the market. They walked around for a while. Then Maria suddenly grabbed Jungkook's hand and said, Maria, let's go over to those shops. Jungkook, come on. Before Jungkook could say anything, Wine quickly said, Wine, yes, you both go and walk around a bit, spend some time together. Jungkook, no, YN, we will explore together. YN, you are not going to listen to me? She made a cute little sad face and spoke in a soft tone. Jungkook, staring at YN while rotating his tongue on inside mouth. You know this cute face trick you always do to emotionally blackmail me? One day, I swear I will. Before he could finish his sentence, YN quickly covered his mouth with her hand and gave him a warning glare. YN, there's no need to say anything more. I understand. Now go. You both go and enjoy yourselves. Jungkook smiled mischievously, then turned to his brother and said, Jungkook, Hyung, please take care of this less-brained bestie of mine. She has a habit of running behind trouble. YN glared at Jungkook. I am less-brained and I run after trouble, huh? Jungkook, no, who said such a thing to you? YN, you did, and now I will. Jungkook started laughing and quickly ran away before she could hit him, and Maria followed right behind him. Taehyung laughed watching them and said with a warm, genuine tone, Taehyung, honestly, the friendship between you two is really beautiful. YN smiled shyly, her heart a little warm at his word. Taehyung, come on, let's walk ahead now. YN, okay, she started again, her voice shaking a little without her meaning to. After walking for some time, YN and Taehyung stopped in front of a store. It was a fun game store where there was a large ring, and the game was to throw the ring so that it landed exactly on a numbered box. Whatever number the ring landed on, the item in the box would be the prize. YN's eyes lit up and she excitedly entered the store. Taehyung followed behind her and asked softly, Taehyung, do you want to play this game? YN, excited, yes, then said a little sadly, but I don't know how to aim. Taehyung, I will try, he said gently. YN, okay, said shyly, her eyes soft. Taehyung nodded, then turned to the shopkeeper. Please give me one ring. The shopkeeper handed Taehyung a ring. Taehyung looked carefully at the boxes, picked a number and threw the ring, and in the very first try the ring landed perfectly on the box he aimed at. One was shocked and amazed like a little child. She began jumping excitedly and clapping her hands. One, wow, so good, first try and such a perfect aim. Seeing her this happy made Taehyung smile as he kept looking at her. He was surprised because never before had he seen a girl get so genuinely happy over such a small thing. Maybe she is the first girl he is met who finds happiness in every little moment, or maybe it's just his heart that's starting to find everything about her beautiful. Only time will tell. When YN noticed that Taehyung was still smiling and looking at her quietly, her face turned slightly pink. She looked down shyly, not able to hold his gaze anymore. Just then, the shopkeeper handed the prize box to Taehyung. He opened it, and inside was a chain with a delicate pendant. It was really beautiful. YN's eyes sparkled as she looked at it. YN, wow, this pendant is so beautiful, isn't it? Taehyung softly. Shopkeeper, sir, this is the first time someone has ever won this prize, he said with a warm smile. Then looking at YN, he added, Madam, you are really lucky. Your boyfriend has a really good aim. YN shocked, her eyes widened, and she began speaking nervously and quickly. No, you must misunderstood. I'm not his girlfriend. We are just. She didn't even know what to say anymore. Words weren't forming. That's when Taehyung looked at her and said softly, Taehyung, we are just friends. If that's okay with you, he said while looking into YN's eyes. YN was just looking at him quietly, completely lost in his eyes. Then Taehyung held the pendant out to her and said gently, Taehyung, this is for you. YN shocked, for me? But why? I mean, no, you should give this to your girlfriend. Taehyung, I don't have a girlfriend. YN couldn't understand why, but after hearing this, her heart suddenly felt peaceful, like someone just placed a soft hand on her storming heart and calmed it down. YN, but how can I take this? Taehyung, I already consider you a friend, and if you also see me as your friend, then accept it, or else I will feel like maybe you don't want to be friends with me, he said with a soft smile. There was something about his words, something magical, something in the way he spoke that could make anyone fall for him. YN took the pendant from his hands and said sweetly, "YN, I accept your friendship." She was about to keep the pendant inside her purse, but then Taehyung stopped her. "Taehyung, wait, YN, wear it. It will look really pretty on you." YN gave a small smile, and before she could react, Taehyung gently took the pendant from her hand and slowly started putting it around her neck. That moment completely froze her. The same guy who made her nervous just by talking, whose presence made her heart beat louder than thunder, was now so close to her. He was making her wear that pendant with his own hands. Her breathing almost stopped. Her lips slightly parted, her eyes closed on their own. Taehyung, while fixing the pendant gently on her neck, said softly, "Taehyung, I will try my best to be your friend just like Jungkook is." But who knew what destiny was planning behind the scenes? Will this sweet beginning of friendship turn into a new love story written by fate? Or will destiny take this story to a place they never imagined? This was just a beginning, because the real game of destiny will start now. After a little while, Jungkook and Maria came back. The four of them spent time together till evening. They roamed around and had fun, made jokes, and during all this, Taehyung asked for YN's number too. Now YN's words weren't stammering anymore, and she wasn't nervous around Taehyung like before either. In fact, she started liking the feelings that were blooming inside her heart. She had finally understood why her heart beats faster whenever she sees this guy, but she chose to keep her feelings hidden, because who knows what's really going on in his heart. She didn't want to confess too early and regret it later, so she decided to protect her heart, at least for now. But maybe someone else was going through the same emotion too. Days started passing by, and the bond between YN and Taehyung began to grow deeper and deeper with every passing day. Both of them knew that this relationship was no longer just a friendship. It had moved beyond that. But both of them were hiding their feelings, because neither wanted to rush anything. On the other side, Jungkook and Maria's relationship was also going fine, but Jungkook had started to feel something changing in his best friend. It's not like their bond or love had disappeared, no, but yes, some things had definitely changed with time, like how YN and Jungkook didn't stay up late talking together anymore, like how they didn't video call each other all night like they used to. Now YN spent most of her nights talking to Taehyung, but this didn't mean that YN loved Jungkook any less, no. She just wanted to explore this new emotion, this new feeling. And another reason was, as long as Jungkook stayed this emotionally close to her, he would be able to fully connect with Maria either. That's why she kept asking him to spend more time with Maria. Meanwhile, she was spending more time with Taehyung, going out with him, talking to him, laughing together, bonding. Many days passed like this. Then one evening, while sitting alone on the terrace of his house, he called YN. Jungkook, "Hello YN, I need to talk to you right now. Come to our comfort place." This terrace wasn't just any ordinary terrace for them. It was a special terrace tent house, something they had lovingly and trustfully built together since childhood. This place was their shared comfort zone, their little secret world where no one else had the right to enter. No one ever even dared to step into that space, not because of rules, but because of Jungkook's strong presence and the unspoken boundary around their bond. Back then, they used to spend most of their time right here. So many nights they had spent together in that place, laughing, crying, dreaming. But now everything had changed. Nothing was like before. It had been so long since the two of them had sat here together. This one magical place which used to feel like a hidden treasure to them now stood silent, lonely and empty. That place which used to echo with their laughter and warmth was now abandoned by time and distance. And today it was at that very same place, her forgotten comfort spot, where Jungkook called YN and asked her to come to him. Sometime later, YN reached the terrace tent. As soon as Jungkook saw her, he pulled her to a hug. He wrapped her in his arms like he finally found peace. YN also hugged him back. Just after a few moments, YN asked softly, "YN, what's wrong? Why did you suddenly call me here like this?" Jungkook turned her around and from behind, then spoke with pain in his voice. "Jungkook, I am missing my best friend, the one who's forgotten me. I miss the moment we used to sit here together. I miss the way it used to feel when you were close to me. I miss those nights when we stayed up just talking, joking and laughing." Hearing those words, one felt her heart ache. She began to feel guilty, ashamed. It's not like she loved Taehyung more than Jungkook now. No, not at all. Yes, she does love Taehyung, but Jungkook's place in her heart, that was something no one could ever replace. He wasn't just a friend, he was her safe place, her lifeline. But it was she who had started to create distance only because she wanted Jungkook to move forward in his relationship with Maria. She knew how much Jungkook loved Maria. But today, hearing the pain in his words, one realized maybe she was wrong. Her decision to stay back might have been good in thought, but in reality, it was hurting Jungkook deeply. And truth is, she was hurting too. She missed her best friend just as much she missed having him by her side. In every moment, every feeling, suddenly Jungkook even tighter, and while hiding her face into his neck, tears fell from her eyes as she whispered softly, "YN, I am sorry, I never wanted to hurt you." Hearing her soft, tearful voice made Jungkook's heart break into pieces. And while gently patting her back, he said, "Jungkook, hush, it's okay. It's okay, please forgive me. I shouldn't have said all that. I know how much you love me. You could never do anything bad. It's me. I am the stupid one for saying all that. I am really sorry. Please forgive me." Seeing tears in her eyes felt like his soul was being ripped apart. To cheer her up, he pulled her out of the hug and suddenly held his ears and started doing sit-ups in front of her. Seeing him do that, one smiled at her teary eyes, and in a low voice she said, "YN, have you forgiven me now?" "Jungkook, first you tell me, have you forgiven me? I admit it, I am a totally stupid, rude, crazy person, but still I am yours, only yours. Please forgive me, just don't cry, okay? When I see tears in your eyes, my soul starts trembling, and today when those tears came because of me, it feels like I should punish myself in a way that I can truly repent for the sin." One walked closer to Jungkook, who was still sitting down with his ears in his hand, looking so guilty and sad. She sat in front of him and softly held his ears with both hands, not in anger, but with care, with love. Her eyes were full of emotion. "One, you are such an idiot, totally crazy, but you are my idiot. Stop hurting yourself like this. I feel pain when you do this to yourself." Jungkook looked into her eyes. Those eyes, full of warmth, felt like home. While holding his ear, she gently placed her forehead on his. "When I can't stay angry with you. Without you, I don't feel complete." Jungkook closed his eyes. One small tear fell. He held her hands gently and smiled with a little relief. "Jungkook, thank you for not leaving me even when everything is changing. One, change is just part of life, but my place in your life, my love for you will never change. Even if someone else comes into my life or yours, I will always be here for you." Once words made Jungkook smile warmly, but then suddenly his expression changed. He raised his eyebrows and looked at Wayne with a suspicious glare and asked in a teasing voice, "Jungkook, so are you going to tell your best friend what's going on between you and Hyung? I mean, for the past few days I have been noticing that you are spending a little too much time with Hyung." One face turned red from embarrassment. She gently lowered her eyes and stayed silent for a moment. Jungkook kept looking at her with curious eyes. Then softly, without pressure, he said, "Jungkook, when you can tell me anything, right? You know I am always with you. No secrets between us, okay?" When slowly looked up at him, her heart was racing. She took a deep breath and finally spoke, her voice low and trembling slightly with emotions. I don't know when it started, Jungkook. At first, I thought it was just respect, admiration, maybe. But day by day, I started feeling different. She paused as if gathering courage to speak the words she had been hiding in her heart for so long. Whenever he smiles, it feels like everything around me just stops. When he talks to me, I forget how to speak. When he is near me, my heart beats like crazy. I feel nervous, but it also makes me happy. Jungkook listened quietly, his expression softening with every word. When he doesn't even do anything special, just simple things, but they affect me so deeply. And you know what hurts the most? Not knowing what he feels, not knowing if he ever notices the way I look at him, the way I feel around him. I'm scared, Jungkook. She looked away, her eyes shimmering with held back tears. When I don't want to run our friendship, I don't want to lose him, but I also don't want to lie to myself anymore. She finally looked at Jungkook directly. Her voice now steady and honest. When I think I have fallen for him, Jungkook, I am in love with Taehyung. There was a long silence. For a second, she feared what Jungkook would say, but the next moment Jungkook suddenly shouted with joy. "Jungkook, what? Oh my god, you are serious? You love my Hyung?" He grabbed her hands and started spinning her in excitement. Jungkook, oh man, I knew it. I knew it. Something was going on. I mean, come on. The way you look at him, that nervousness, it was love. Oh my god, Wine, I am so happy for you. Wine was smiling now, a soft blush still on her cheeks. Jungkook pulled her into a hug again and whispered, "Jungkook, you deserve happiness, and if it's Hyung, then I know you are in safe hands, and I will always support you." As they stood their comfort place, their precious tent wind was blowing softly and stars were shining above them. Everything was silent, but a peaceful kind of silence. Jungkook, sometimes I feel scared. What if one day we become so far from each other that we forget what this feels like? When you know our bond is like the sea. Jungkook, the sea? When yes, sometimes the waves go far away, but they always come back. It takes time, but they return. Jungkook smiled, a soft, pure smile only wine could bring. Jungkook, I know anything in the world can change, but you are the one part of my life I will never let go. Even when I am with Maria, even when you are with wine. Taehyung. Jungkook. Yes, even when you are with him, I will still look for you when I feel lost. I will still come to you when I am broken. I will still hug you like always because you are not just my friend, you are home to me. Wine with teary eyes but smiling, and you are my strength. They leaned their heads on each other, not romantic, not dramatic, just two hearts that will always be together no matter where life takes them. But something was there, hidden, something that couldn't be seen, but it existed. Maybe a silent feeling buried deep in someone's heart, or maybe something was about to happen, something that no one ever imagined. That night they both spent time together like old times, and from the very next day everything started becoming normal again. But this time Jungkook and YN were giving time not just to their own lives but also to each other. They had now understood that their well-being wasn't in being apart but in staying close to one another. And just like that, a few more days passed peacefully. Then one day Jungkook saw the right moment and decided to talk to his brother about wine. Jungkook, Hyung, do you trust me? Asked suddenly. His sudden question confused Taehyung. Taehyung, huh? What? Jungkook repeated his question. Taehyung, obviously I do. Of course I trust you. Jungkook, then tell me the truth. Taehyung, which truth? Jungkook, the one I really want to know. Do you love wine? Asked seriously. This sudden question made Taehyung nervous for a moment, but he quickly calmed himself down and then with a soft smile and a shy voice he said, Taehyung, yes Jungkook, I fall in love with her.
Jungkook smiled after hearing Taehyung's answer and said, Jungkook, congratulations, Hyung. Seriously, in this world full of stones, you have chosen a diamond. Taehyung smiled nervously, thanks. Jungkook, so Hyung, since when have you been hiding these feelings in your heart? He asked teasingly. Taehyung, around 6 months. Jungkook, so what now? Are you waiting for someone else to take her away before you finally decide to propose? He said with a done face. Taehyung, No, actually I'm just a little scared. What if she rejects me? Jungkook, don't worry, you are not something that can be rejected. You are rare, bro. Then still I am feeling nervous and kind of insecure about telling her my feelings, he said sadly. Jungkook got up and walked closer to his brother. He sat beside him, gently patted his shoulder and said, Jungkook, have some faith in yourself, Hyung. Whether she accepts you feelings or not, you will only find out after you tell her. You can keep those emotions locked inside your heart forever. If you don't get your courage now, someday you will regret not speaking up. I have said what I truly feel. The rest is up to you. Taehyung went into deep thought after listening to him. Meanwhile, Jungkook got up and started to walk away. But after taking a few steps, he suddenly stopped, turned it around and said, Jungkook, Taehyung YN's birthday is in 3 days. I am planning a surprise party for her. If you really love her and don't want to lose her, then you won't find a better moment than this to confess your love. After struggling for a long time between his heart and mind, finally the heart won, and Taehyung decided that he would propose to YN on her birthday. Whatever happened after that, he will deal with it. Who knows what's written in his fate? 3 days later, finally the day arrived. The day Jungkook had been waiting for so eagerly. Today is his YN's birthday. Every year on her birthday, Jungkook takes her out, gives her surprises, gifts, and does a lot to make her smile. But this year was different. This year he didn't show any excitement. He didn't react at all in front of YN. He started pretending as if he had completely forgotten her birthday. Because this time he had planned something big, a huge surprise party at his house just for her. Everyone knew about it. Jungkook's parents, YN's mom and dad, her brother, everyone except YN. And poor YN was feeling low since morning, thinking that everyone had forgotten her birthday. She didn't get a single birthday wish after waking up, not like other years. It hurt her a little, but she stayed quiet, thinking it's still early. Maybe people will remember slowly. But one thing she was sure of, even if no one else remembers, Jungkook will never forget her birthday. But things got worse when it was already 4 in the evening and still no one had wished her. Heartbroken, she quietly went to her room, and that's exactly what everyone had wanted, so they could surprise her. Taehyung had helped Jungkook a lot in organizing this party. The plan was this: in the evening, everyone would gather at Jungkook's house, except YN. No one would tell her anything. Instead, Jungkook would send a gift parcel to her house in his name. Inside there would be a dress and a small note. The note would have Jungkook's house address written on it and the time she should arrive for the party. Everything was well planned. Maria had also been invited, but only Jungkook and Taehyung knew that Taehyung was going to propose to YN at the party. No one else knew. That day, both brothers went to a mall to buy clothes, and there Jungkook looked at his brother and said, Jungkook, you select your dress. I will choose YN's dress myself. Taehyung nodded in agreement, giving him a soft smile. Then Jungkook began looking around carefully, checking every piece like he was searching for something truly special. And finally, he selected a simple yet stunning purple long gown for boy. It wasn't heavy or flashy, just elegant, soft and graceful, the kind of dress that quietly stole hearts, just like YN herself. When the clock struck 6 in the evening, everyone had already reached Jungkook's house. His place was glowing with fairy lights, balloons, flowers, all for her. Laughter and excitement filled the air, except for one thing. She wasn't there yet, but the plan was working. At the same time, a delivery arrived at YN's home. She was sitting in her room, heart sinking deeper into disappointment with every passing minute. until she heard the knock. She worked out, confused, and saw the delivery guy hand her a small parcel with Jungkook's name on it. She quickly took it and went back to her room, heart pounding. She opened the gift box, and the moment she saw what was inside, she gasped softly. The gown was absolutely beautiful, purple, simple but magical. She ran her finger over the fabric, her lips parting in surprise, but her heart truly melted when she noticed a small folded note tucked beneath the dress. She opened it. Wear this dress and came to my house at 7. The handwriting was clearly Jungkook's, just one sentence, but used to weep away her sadness. As soon as she finished reading the message, a soft, bright smile bloomed on her lips. Finally, at least someone remembered her birthday. One understood one thing clearly. Jungkook had definitely planned some kind of surprise gift for her, but what she didn't guess was that it could be a surprise party, and such a big one. One wore the dress Jungkook had sent. The moment she put it on, it fit her so perfectly, like it was made just for her. Then she did light makeup, kept her hair open, loose and flowing. Even thought she was already very beautiful, but today this dress, which was chosen by Jungkook, made her beauty shine even more, as if the moonlight had warped itself around her. Exactly at 7 p.m. YN reached Jungkook house. But wait, what is this? Why is no one here? Why is the entire house so dark? Even all the lights inside the house are off. Maybe Jungkook is on the terrace. All these thoughts started running through her mind, one after another. Confusion, doubt, curiosity. One slowly opened the door, and as soon as she stepped inside, everyone shouted loudly, "Surprise!" Balloons went up, lights turned on, music started, and the whole house filled with claps and cheers. Everyone, happy birthday, YN. YN stood still. She was shocked. Her eyes became wide, her mouth stayed open. Slowly, her eyes filled with tears, happy tears. A big smile came to her face. YN, with teary eyes, this is for me? Jungkook came forward, took her hand, and smiled. Jungkook, of course, silly. Who else would I do this for? Happy birthday, my sweetheart. YN him tightly, and tears started flowing from her eyes. Truly, she felt like the luckiest girl in the world to have a friend like Jungkook. With a heart full happiness and emotion, she softly said to Jungkook, "One monkey, who told you to do so much for me? I would have been happy just if you wished me." Jungkook smiled gently and replied, "Jungkook, today is your special day. How could I not celebrate the most special day of your life? And anyway, one more big surprise is still left." One looked surprised. One more surprise? What now? What can be bigger than this? Jungkook, something that you have always wished for, and now making your every wish come true has become my habit. No matter how hard it is for me, I just want to see you happy in every situation. Wayne tried to understand Jungkook's last few words, but something about them felt heavy. It was like he had hidden some deep pain behind those smiling words, like his heart was quietly screaming something, but he was still smiling for her. Before her mind could run wild with more thoughts, Jungkook softly said, "Jungkook, when your second surprise is here, just turn around and look behind you." As soon as he said that, Jungkook stepped aside and stood quietly. Then a very slowly Wine turned around, and the moment she did, her eyes widened in shock. Her lips stayed slightly open. Her heart started beating so fast it almost echoed in her ears. Because right in front of her, Taehyung was down on one knee, holding a ring in his hand, and then he took a deep breath and said softly, "Taehyung, when I never thought I'd fall in love with someone, but the way you get nervous around me, stutters when I talk, celebrates the smallest things like they are biggest wins, and everything about you made me fall in love with you." He smiled. "I don't know when it happened, but I am sure now I love you. I didn't want to run our friendship by telling you, but if I stay silent any longer, I will only end up hurting myself more. You are special to me, more than just a friend. And if you give me the chance, I will show you how much."
One felt like she had turned into stone for a moment. This was exactly what she always wanted, but now that it was happening, her heart was beating so fast that even her breath was shaking. No words were coming out of her mouth, only she knew the storm of emotion going on inside her heart. She was so happy. So happy that even 1,000 words couldn't express it. But along with that happiness, she was nervous, so nervous that her hands were trembling, her legs felt weak. Then slowly she turned her face toward Jungkook. Jungkook looked at her with a soft, warm smile. He gently nodded his head, giving her silent supporting, telling her without saying a word, "It's okay, go ahead, I am here." Taking a deep breath, one slowly raised hand, she bowed her hand forward toward Taehyung, her fingers shaking slightly, and with a soft, honest voice, eyes filled with emotion, she said, "YN, I love you too, Taehyung." Everyone started clapping loudly with joy, and Taehyung quickly hugged YN. His happiness was clearly visible on his face. Everyone was truly happy. YN's parents, Taehyung's father, everyone except one person. Taehyung's mother. She was looking straight at Jungkook without blinking. Jungkook was smiling, but his smile didn't look real. Yes, he was happy, but that happiness didn't feel pure. Inside his mother's heart, a storm had started. She still couldn't believe. Was it really true that between Jungkook and YN there was only deep friendship and nothing more? Everyone came forward toward the new couple, gave them congratulations. Some started teasing them sweetly. Taehyung laughed, YN laughed too. Then Taehyung looked at Jungkook and said, "Taehyung, thank you so much, Jungkook. If you didn't give me courage, maybe I would have never received this happiness." Jungkook, anything for YN. Taehyung smiled, then said jokingly, "Look, now your best friend is mine." He said this while hugging YN from behind. To that, Jungkook looked at YN deeply and said, "Jungkook, you can make her your girlfriend, even your wife, but still you can never take that place in her heart which has always belonged to me. Hyung, I don't just live in her heart, I live in every single heartbeat of hers, in her every breath, in her soul. The much I have right over her that you can't even imagine. You can change situation, but not habits, and I am her habit." Taehyung, our relationship has just begun, but wait and watch. I will love her so much that she will forget even you, he said with a soft smile on his face. But inside that smile there was a glimpse of pride, a silent desire to want every beat of her heart. Maybe he didn't just want her love, he wanted her completely, and the space one once gave to Jungkook, he now wanted to erase it and claim it for himself. Jungkook, Hyung, erasing me from her heart is impossible. Her soul lives in me, he replied calmly with a small smile. Taehyung, let's see. After hearing Jungkook's words, YN smiled, and without thinking she ran and hugged Jungkook tightly. They both stayed like that for a while. Then the party went back to fun. Music, dance, food, everything was great on the outside. But even in this happiness, everyone's heart were holding different questions, different thoughts. The story isn't over yet, because sometimes what we see isn't real, and what's real takes too long to be seen. After 2 months later, Jungkook's father organized a big party to celebrate the success of Jungkook, who had taken their business to the top level. All their relatives, big business partners, and close friends were invited to that party. One also came with her parents. She was wearing a beautiful white maxi dress, and she looked so gorgeous that no one could take their eyes off her. Everyone was secretly admiring her beauty. She gave Jungkook lots of congratulations for his big achievement. Jungkook was busy talking with some business partner, while YN was standing with her parents and talking to them. Just then, Taehyung also came and joined them. They all were talking with each other, and that's when Taehyung's father came toward them and said, "Dad, so how's your relationship going?" he asked with a smile. Hearing such a question, YN blushed and looked down shyly, and Taehyung smiled and said, "Taehyung, Dad, look,
just by your words, my sweet girlfriend got so shy, he said jokingly. YN's parents started laughing. Dad, how long will you keep calling her my girlfriend? Now start calling her your future daughter-in-law too. After hearing that, not just YN but even her parents were left wide-eyed in shock. Taehyung was both shocked and happy at the same time. Seeing the expressions on YN and her parents' faces, Dad smiled and said softly, Dad, this girl is really very sweet, and whenever she comes into this house, she brings peace and happiness with her. Actually, the real problem is now she comes here only sometimes. Then he gently caressed YN's head with affection and said, But now I want your daughter to become my daughter, so that she doesn't just visit, she lives here with us as our daughter. That's why I want to get these two got married as soon as possible. YN's parents smiled happily at his words, and YN too was glowing with joy. YN's dad, she's your daughter too now. And as for the wedding, if YN and Taehyung are ready, then I am also more than happy to agree. Dad, so tell me both of you, do you want to marry each other? Taehyung, yes, of course, Dad, he said with a big smile and excitement in his voice. YN, yes, she said shyly, blushing with a soft smile. Dad, how about fixing the wedding date 3 months later? YN's dad, I have no problem at all. I am fully ready, he said with a happy smile. Taehyung, Dad, I also don't want to lose her at any cost. I want to make her my wife as soon as possible. He smiled warmly while looking at YN, and seeing the love in his eyes, YN also smiled shyly. Dad, then it's settled. I will announce this good news right now. Saying this, Dad held both YN and Taehyung by their hands and brought them to the center of the hall. He picked up the mic and said, Dad, hello everyone. Hearing his voice, everyone turned toward them with curiosity. Jungkook also looked at them confused and curious. Dad, on this joyful occasion, I want to share another happiness with you all. 3 months from today, my elder son, Taehyung, will be getting married to this sweet girl Park YN. Everyone started clapping with excitement and joy, but Jungkook stood there shocked, staring at YN. Then he walked over to her and asked, Jungkook, is this true? YN smiling nodded. Jungkook, and you didn't even tell your best friend? YN, actually I didn't even get the chance. Uncle just asked us about it now and we said yes. Jungkook just kept looking at YN. YN, are you upset with me? Jungkook gave a small smile and said, Jungkook, can I ever be upset with you? By the way, congratulations. You are about to start a new chapter in your life very soon, so best of luck. After saying that, Jungkook walked away. Before YN could stop him, Jungkook's dad called her over to introduce her to some guests. What had suddenly happened to Jungkook? What was going on in his mind? It was hard to say, but Jungkook's mom, she was standing quietly in a corner, observing everything. She too was shocked by the sudden announcement. It more than shocked, she was disturbed. Everyone seemed happy. Everything looked perfect on the outside. Still, for some reason, her heart felt uneasy. Something wasn't right, or maybe something was slowly going wrong. Days turned into weeks, and weeks into 2 whole months. Time passed so quickly, and both best friends were moving ahead in their love lives, hand in hand with the person they loved. And yes, they were happy, truly happy. Taehyung had now become a permanent part of one's life, whether it was spending hours talking, walking together in quiet lane, or even helping her in her dad's restaurant. He was always there. Every moment felt complete when he was around. Everything seemed perfect, almost, except for one thing, YN and Jungkook's friendship. No matter how much they tried, they couldn't give each other the time they used to. Where they once were talked for hours and laughed till their stomachs hurt, now they could barely speak for 1 or 2 minutes. One was happy with Taehyung, truly deeply, but somewhere deep in her heart, she was really missing her best friend. The day she had spent with Jungkook. Those silly jokes, their random late night calls, teasing each other, laughing over nothing, and those long walks with no destination. She missed those moments, those little things
that happiness. She couldn't find them anywhere else. His absence around her was hurting her even more, no matter how much she loved someone, and no matter how much someone loved her. She knew one thing for sure. The friendship she had with Jungkook could never be erased from her heart. That bond is something that even love can replace. So finally one day YN made a plan, a picnic plan just for the four of them, Taehyung, Jungkook, Maria and YN herself. She called each one of them personally and told them about it. They all agreed happily. It had been so long since the four of them had done something together. They decided that the picnic would be after 2 days. The plan was made. Jungkook and Taehyung would pick up Maria first, then they would go and pick up YN. As for the picnic spot, they chose a beautiful lakeside place. The location was selected by Maria herself. A beautiful lake, cool breeze, old friends, new love. But what no one knew was that this holiday would change something. 2 days later, just like it was planned, after picking up Maria, Jungkook and Taehyung came to pick up YN too, and YN was already standing near her door, waiting for them eagerly, her eyes shining with excitement. As soon as their car stopped in front of her house and Jungkook and Taehyung stepped out from the car, YN quickly started running toward them with a wide smile on her face. After a few hours, they all reached their destination. Near a peaceful lake, they arranged everything for their picnic. It was a very beautiful place, so calm and quiet, and the light breeze in the air made the old place feel more peaceful and comforting. There was a kind of silence that gave peace to the heart. Spread out a bedsheet on the grass near the lake. Then they took out the food they had brought with them. They kept all the items on one side, and all four of them sat down together. As soon as one sat down, Jungkook gently placed his head on her and laid down. Then he started talking with her. It had been a long time since he and YN got a chance to spend peaceful time. His sudden action made Maria burn with anger from inside. She was foaming with jealousy, but she didn't show it on her face. She just smiled awkwardly and looked away, pretending everything was normal. On the other side, Taehyung was smiling, and when she finally felt peace, there was calmness in her heart, and why not? Her best friend was with her, laying peacefully with his head on her. In that moment, what more could she ask for? She had everything her heart needed right there. All of them got busy again in talking, laughing, and enjoying each other's company. While they were talking, suddenly Maria purposely asked YN a question, one that she knew would hurt Jungkook, because deep down she just wanted to create distance between Jungkook and YN no matter what. Maria, so YN, you love Taehyung a lot, right? And Jungkook, he's your life. YN, smiled softly. Maria, then imagine one day a terrible situation comes and you have only one choice. You can save just one of them, either Jungkook or Taehyung. So tell me, who will you choose? Hearing that question, YN got nervous. Her heart suddenly felt heavy. Both of them were the most precious people in her life. They were her heart, her happiness, and just thinking about something like this scared her deeply. What if something like this really happened in real life? What will she do? She went into deep thoughts, her face full of tension and confusion. And Maria, she was feeling secretly very happy inside. Her face stayed calm, but her heart was celebrating. She knew no matter what answer one gave, one of them, either Jungkook or Taehyung, would definitely feel her. Just then Jungkook got angry and said sharply to Maria, Jungkook, what kind of useless question are you asking YN? He said angrily, which made Maria even more furious inside, because the perfect chance she had to create a rift between the three of them was slipping from her hands. But before things could go further, Taehyung spoke to Jungkook calmly. Taehyung, what happened, Jungkook? Why are you getting angry at this poor girl? She just asked a question for fun. It was only a joke. What's there to get so mad about?
Jungkook, but Taehyung YN interrupted. YN, it's okay Jungkook, I don't have any problem with her question. And Maria, if ever in life such a moment comes where we all are in trouble and I have only one chance to save one of two brothers, then I will save Taehyung. Maria became extremely happy after hearing her answer, because this was exactly what she had hoped for. Finally, her plan had worked. Taehyung was also very happy inside because Won had chosen him over Jungkook. That meant a lot to him. But Jungkook, he didn't feel upset, not at all. He just smiled gently and said, One, I was just saying like that. It's not like I will really do something like this. And anyway, such a situation will never come, said innocently. Jungkook, forget about doing it. Just hearing such a things from you makes me angry, Wine. And you know that very well. As long as I am alive, I won't let even a scratch come near you. One smiled. I know no one can harm me when you are with me. Seeing them talk like this made Maria even more irritated. But Taehyung simply smiled and said to Wine, Taehyung, you know Wine, you are our heart truly, and as long as we are around, no one will even dare to think about hurting you, said with a warm smile. After hearing that, Jungkook and YN both smiled, and Maria started thinking to herself what I wanted and what actually happened. Nothing went my way. Then YN stood up and slowly walked near the lake, admiring its beauty. Seeing her go, the other three followed and stood beside her, all quietly looking at calm waters. Wine, this lake is so beautiful, isn't it? Maria, yes, and just as dangerous. Hearing that, Wine and Taehyung looked at her with confusion, not understanding what she meant. Then Jungkook, still looking at the lake, said in a calm voice, Jungkook, take the car to the nearest hospital as fast as you can. Looking at Wine like this, Jungkook was feeling like he was losing his life. Tears were continuously falling from his eyes. He was crying loudly and calling Wine again and again, like he had gone mad after seeing her in this condition. He kept blaming himself for Wine's condition. Because of pain and anger, he was completely broken. Finally, they reached the hospital. Jungkook quickly took Wine to the doctor and said, Jungkook, doctor, please hurry up and treat her. Look at her. What has happened to her? Why is she not waking up? Please do something fast. Save her somehow. I want my Wine safe and okay, no matter what, he said while crying and shouting. The doctor quickly took her to the checkup room and asked everyone to stay outside. Then they started checking Wine. On the other side, Jungkook was outside feeling extremely restless. He was walking here and there, again and again. He was crying like crazy and pulling his hair in frustration. Taehyung was also crying silently while staring at nothing. His condition had become miserable too. He was troubled by both guilt and anger. He was feeling like he couldn't even protect the girl he loved. Just then the doctor came out of the room. Jungkook rushed to the doctor quickly. Doctor, it's okay. There's nothing to panic about. She is just unconscious. Maybe she fainted because of some kind of fear or shock. She will wake up in a little while. After hearing that, Jungkook finally felt relieved. He quickly went into the room, held Won's hand and sat beside her. Taehyung and Maria also came inside the room and sat very quietly. A little while later, Won slowly opened her eyes, and the very first name she said was Jungkook. Everyone was still in the room. As soon as Jungkook heard her voice, he quickly hugged her tightly and started crying. This was the first time such a strong man was crying like that, and for Won too, it was the first time she was seeing Jungkook crying. Jungkook, for a moment I really thought I lost you. If anything had happened to you, and I would have right there. Why don't you ever listen to me? You always do what you want. Have you ever thought what will happen to me if something happens to you? He said, "Will crying," when I never thought about it, and I never will, because I know even if that itself try to take me away, you will fight that and bring me back. True, because Jungkook's obsession for her really was like that. Jungkook, first you tell me this. When I told you not to, then why did you jump into the water, worried and angry? When I didn't jump into the water, actually, because the boat was shaking so much. Maybe I fell because someone bumped into me during all that pushing and shoving. Then Taehyung came closer to YN and sat beside her. Tears were flowing from his eyes. The guilt was clearly visible in them. While crying, he said, "Taehyung, please forgive me, YN. If possible, please forgive me. I am such a coward that when you needed me the most, I couldn't be of any help to you. I am really very sorry." When it's okay, Taehyung, this is not your fault. It was written in my fate. That's why it happened. Don't blame yourself. Even after hearing so many comforting words, Taehyung's tears didn't stop. His heart was itching badly with pain. He was feeling so much guilt that at that moment he quietly got up and walked out of the room. After the incident that happened with YN, life had taken a serious turn for all four of them. Taehyung had become even more possessive about YN. He always wanted to be near her, and when he couldn't be physically present, he did stay on calls with her for hours. YN did feel happy that he was so attentive and caring, but sometimes she felt a strange unnecessariness. She couldn't explain why. Still, she chose to ignore this odd feeling, convincing herself to move forward. After all, only a few days were left for their wedding. She just wanted to be happy with Taehyung and being her new life with joy. On the other hand, Jungkook, he had changed drastically. He was no longer the same playfully cheerful Jungkook. Now he buried himself in his work, avoided conversation, and spent most of his time locked up in the office. He did return home late at night and leave again early in the morning. His parents barely saw him these days. They were worried, very worried about this sudden change in him. Many times they tried asking him what was wrong, but his answer was always the same, "I am fine." Even YN barely got to talk to him now. Their chats were reduced to short calls. Only when she called, he'd just ask how she was and then give an excuse about being busy with work before cutting the call. As for Maria, yes, they were still in a relationship, but even with her, Jungkook had become distant. He barely spoke, barely made her, almost as if he was trying to hide from everyone, even from himself. And just like that, everything continued. It was until the day Jungkook went back to that same lake. Actually, it all started when he suddenly noticed that the chain YN had gifted him was missing. It was a small thing, maybe for the world, but for Jungkook it was priceless. A gift from YN, a symbol of her presence in his life, a treasure he never wanted to lose. He searched everywhere, his home, his office, every place he had been to in the last few days, but no luck. The chain had simply vanished. And then just 3 days before YN's wedding, a thought crossed his mind. Maybe I lost it at the lake that day. Without wasting a second, Jungkook got into his car and drove straight to that same picnic spot. The moment he reached, a strange silence wrapped around him. The breeze, the trees, even the ripples in the lake, everything felt like it remembered the day, just like he did. He started looking carefully, his eyes scanning every inch of the lake's edge, and then after a long search he saw it. Lying right at the edge of the lake, tangled in the grass, was that very chain. He picked it up gently, his heart urging and healing all at once. Maybe it felt that day when I was carrying her out of the water. As he stood there, lost in the moment, still holding the chain tightly, a voice suddenly spoke from behind. "Man, who are you and what are you doing here?" Hearing the man's voice, Jungkook turned around. As soon as the man saw Jungkook's face, he raised his eyebrows slightly, as if trying to remember something, as if Jungkook's face triggered an old memory. Jungkook, actually my chain fell here so I came to get it. Jungkook showed the chain to the man while speaking, trying to explain. After a few seconds later, something clicked in that man's mind. His eyes widened slightly and he quickly spoke. Man, you are the same guy, right? The one who came to the shore swimming while carrying a girl? Jungkook, shocked and confused. Yes, but how do you know that? Man, actually, I am the guard of this picnic spot. That day when you all came here, I saw you entering. But after that, I went home to eat lunch. My house is a little far on the other side of the lake. After eating, when I was returning, I saw you people in the boat, but I was still very far. Before I could reach here or help you, you all had already left. Jungkook, it's okay, uncle, and actually it was our fault. We shouldn't have gone into the lake like that. Man, Son, the girl you carried that day, is she alright now? Jungkook, yes, uncle. Okay, then I will leave now. I have some work and I am getting late. After saying this, Jungkook started walking away, but just then that man stopped him and said, Man, son, wait a minute, I need to tell you something. Jungkook, what? Man, that day when that girl fell into the water, I may have been very far away, but I saw everything clearly, what really happened actually. After hearing that man's words, Jungkook was shocked, but more than shocked, he was angry. He was so angry that if someone had came in front of him at that moment, he might have hurt them badly. He was feeling restless. He didn't know what to do now. After thinking for a long time, he made a decision, a good one. He knew that anger wouldn't solve anything. Whatever had to be done, now he must do it calmly and with a clear mind so that everything stays fine and no problem or trouble comes up. Because there were only 3 days left for one's wedding and he didn't want anything to go wrong or any hurdle to come in the wedding. Thinking all this, he quietly returned to his home. At the wedding day, finally, the wedding day had arrived. Only a little time was left now for one's wed to end. She had been waiting for this day with so much excitement because today the love of her life was going to be hers forever. But on this day, full of happiness, suddenly the smile on her lips turned into sadness because she was missing her best friend a lot. If Jungkook was here right now, who knows how happy you would have been after seeing her ready as a bride. He would have praised her endlessly, claimed his rights on her like always, right? These were the thought running in her mind. She misses him deeply every single day, but she doesn't want to come between Jungkook and Maria. That's why she never says anything. After so many breakups, Jungkook had finally found a girl, someone he truly loves. So how could she become a hurdle in her best friend's relationship? Even if she wanted to, she simply couldn't do anything. Actually, it wasn't Wyan's fault at all. Whenever she called Jungkook, he used to say, "I am spending time with Maria right now," and because of that, she never said anything more. She stayed silent. Wine was now fully ready. She wore her bridal veil. Just then her little brother came into the room. Excitedly, Wine looked at him and asked, Wine, how do I look? Do you think Taehyung will like it? Wine's brother, yes. His voice trembled, seeing her brother so stressed and shuddering. Wine also got nervous and asked him, Wine, what happened, Joel? Why do you look so worried, Joel? You know, Taehyung's parents are downstairs. Hearing that, one's breath quickened, a strange fear started to grip her heart. At this moment, when they were supposed to be in the church, why were they here instead? That thought alone made her hands and feet start trembling. With great difficulty and gathering all her courage, she slowly began walking downstairs step by step. When she reached down, she saw Jungkook's friends crying, and her mom was lying on the sofa unconscious, and her father was trying to wake her up in panic. Seeing everyone in such terrible state, one face became pale in fear. She rushed towards her dad and asked with a trembling voice, "Why, Papa, what's happening? What happened to Mom, and why is everyone crying like this?" she asked, panicking in tension. Papa. He just kept crying, unable to say a word, even after asking many times when no one told her anything. She finally lost her patience. She stood up and shouted, "When will someone please tell me what is going on here?" That's when Jungkook's dad came in front of YN. He lowered his head, joined his hand, and spoke with tears streaming down his eyes. "Dad, if possible, please forgive me, daughter. I am so ashamed. I wanted to take you home as my daughter, but I couldn't even protect your happiness." He broke down crying. "Wine, uncle, what are you saying?" Teary eyes. "Dad, daughter, there's no news about Taehyung. Where he went, why he went, what he is doing. We don't know anything. Since morning we have been looking for him everywhere, but we still haven't found him. We searched every single place in the city, but he's nowhere. Even his phone is unreachable. He might have run away." The last few words from him came out shakily. He wasn't just heartbroken, he was also deeply ashamed, and that's why one's father was crying so much and her mother had fainted. How could they bear to see their only daughter break like this? They knew very well what society does to a girl when the groom runs away on the wedding day. People start gossiping and throwing taunts. They make the girl's life a living. How could her parents watch their daughter go through such a thing? Thinking of all this, her mother had collapsed. Wine was completely shocked after hearing Jungkook's dad's words. Her sense almost left her and she collapsed to the ground as if all life had drained from her body. Her eyes wide open in disbelief, her lips slightly parted but no voice coming out. She wasn't saying anything, not even reacting, just sitting there lifeless. Her hands trembled on her lap, but she didn't even realize it. Her breathing slow and shaky, as if her heart was refusing to beat properly. Seeing her like that, Jungkook's mom quickly rushed to her side and held her face gently with both hands, lightly tapping her cheeks. She said, "Wine, my child, look at me. Wine, everything will be okay. We are here with you." But she didn't react at all, just kept sitting there like a lifeless doll. Jungkook's mom tired a lot. She kept speaking softly, tapping her cheeks gently, hoping for even the slightest response. But Wine gave nothing. No anger, no tears, no breakdown, not even a single drop rolled down from her eyes, as if her soul had frozen inside her, as if her heart had shattered so silently that even pain forgot to scream. Many people must have heard one thing in their life. If you are angry and you shout or fight or express it in any way, your anger cools down just like that. If you are deeply hurt or heartbroken and you cry, your heart feels lighter. But if you don't react at all, if you keep that anger only inside your heart, if you hide that pain and don't even shed a single tear, then that becomes dangerous, right? Because then a person becomes mentally very unstable. There's a high chance of falling into, even bad thoughts can come into the mind, like. And even in the middle of all this, there are always some people in society who never miss a chance to taunt. No matter what happens, the family kept hearing all sorts of things from the guests. Their house was filled with people, and why would it be? She was their only daughter, and they had planned a grand wedding. Many people had been invited. How could they have known something like this would happen? But even after hearing so many harsh comments, she wasn't reacting at all. Just then, the front door burst open and Jungkook came rushing in, stumbling as he entered and looking at his face, and it was clear he had run all the way there. He was breathless, and pain and guilt were written all over his face. Actually, he had no idea about what had happened. He hadn't even planned to attend the wedding, because watching his love go far away from him like that, it was too painful. That's why even on this day, he had made an excuse about an important business meeting and left. But after seeing YN in such a condition, her younger brother called Jungkook and told him everything and asked him to come there. As soon as his eyes fell on YN and he saw her condition, tears welled up in his eyes too. How could someone do this to such an innocent and sweet girl? He was extremely angry at his own brother, the best friend whose eyes he never even let shed a single tear. Today his own brother had brought her to this state. He quickly walked over to YN, moved everyone away from her, and knelt down in front of her. Without touching her, he softly and lovingly called out her, "Jungkook, my love." And once again, shocking everyone, the moment YN heard Jungkook's voice, she looked at him, but not just looked. What no one else could do, despite all their efforts, Jungkook's voice did it. The second she saw him, she broke down completely. She rushed into his arms, clung to him tightly, and began sobbing uncontrollably, as if she had finally found the only place where her pain could spill freely. Her cries oozed with all the heart, the betrayal, the heartbreak she had buried inside. And Jungkook, he just held her silently, letting her tears soak into him as if he wished he could take every drop of her pain away. Jungkook also pulled her into his arms tightly and shut his eyes with pain, clenching his fist hard, because YN's crying was tearing his heart apart from inside. But he also understood that right now YN needed to cry, otherwise her heart would feel light. After crying for a while, when YN calmed down a bit, Jungkook gently kissed her back and said, "Jungkook, don't waste your precious tears on someone who doesn't even know their value." Just then YN's papa also came close to her and trying to give her courage and said, "Papa, my sweet daughter, Jungkook is right. That person never even deserved you. So don't hurt yourself so much for someone like him." By now, YN's mom had also regained consciousness. That's when YN tightly clenched her fist, beat down hard on her lips, and shut her eyes tightly, just to stop herself from crying. But no matter how much she tried, her tears won't stop falling. That's when Jungkook truly realized that YN wasn't crying just because of what happened to her. She was also breaking down because of the things people were saying, because now voices from the crowd started reaching his ears. Voices whispering things like, "Poor girl, her groom ran away on the wedding day itself. There must be something wrong with her. Otherwise, why would a perfectly good boy run away after promising marriage?" I had a feeling from the beginning that something was off in this marriage. I mean, he was a prince living in a palace, and she's just a simple girl from a middle-class family. That's when Jungkook stood up in anger and shouted, "Jungkook, shut up everyone. If I hear even one more word from anyone's mouth, then you all already know what I am capable of." At that moment, YN's mom came in front of Jungkook, crying, and spoke angrily. YN's mom, "You, Jungkook, how many mouths will you shut like this? Today it's one, tomorrow it will be someone else. All those who are saying this today, it's all because of your brother, because of him, YN, and we have to face this painful day. My daughter will have to suffer this pain all her life. She will have to hear bitter words and taunts from people, all because of your brother. I will never forgive him for this." YN's mom was shouting in anger, and Jungkook was silently standing there with his head down, listening to everything quietly. After all, what could he even say? Everyone was suffering today only because of his brother. Just then, YN, still crying, spoke to her mom. "YN, Mama, what did Jungkook do wrong in this? Why are you getting angry at him?" YN's mom, "Then what's your fault in all this that you have to suffer like this? Yes, I know Jungkook is not to blame for any of this, but Taehyung is his brother, right? And after what he did to you today, what will happen to you now? Will you keep listening to such a harsh words from people your whole life? What about your future? After everything that happened today, it will even be hard to find a marriage proposal for you. Which family would want to connect with us after hearing all this? Who will marry you?" Her words were bitter, but she was true. She was YN's mother. Obviously, she would be angry and in pain, because she knew how difficult one's life could become after this incident. But after hearing her words, Wyn's father got angry and shouted at her. Wyn's papa, stop it now. What are you saying right now? Our daughter needs us. And you are blaming Jungkook for all this. What did he even do wrong in all this? One's mom, what did I say wrong? It's because of his brother that our daughter is facing all this today. Now, in this condition, who will marry her? Who will become her life partner when the whole world is only blaming her? Jungkook, I will marry her and I will do it right now in front of everyone. I will be her life partner, the answer to her sorrow. Saying this, Jungkook held Won's hand, pulled her along, and made her sit in the car with him. Then he drove straight towards the church. Won's parents, Jungkook's parents, everyone tried to stop him, but he didn't listen. Won tried to make him understand. She got angry at him, gave him emotional promises. She did everything she could to convince him, but it was as if Jungkook couldn't hear a single word. Even after 1,000 attempts to stop him, he didn't stop. He directly took Won to the church and stood in front of the priest and said, Jungkook, get us married right now, this very moment. Wyn, no. Then Jungkook grabbed Wyn by the back of her neck, pulled her towards him, and looked deep into her eyes as he said, Jungkook, I am warning you, Wyn. If you say no, then mark my words, I will disappear from your life and this entire world in such a way that it will feel like I never even existed. Wyn got scared after hearing his words because honestly, who was left in her life now except Jungkook? Maybe even Taehyung disappeared won't hurt her as much as losing Jungkook world. And she knew one thing for sure, when Jungkook says something, he means it. He always does what he says, and this marriage, he was doing it only for her, just so she won't have to face shame, so people won't throw taunts at her, so she won't suffer alone. Jungkook was ready to do anything for her, but still there was one thing that was not right in this. In the middle of all these sudden tragedies, one had completely broken down emotionally. Pain, sorrow, pressure, nervousness. They had drowned her so deep that she forgot something important. The friend who was marrying her to save her dignity. He had a girlfriend, someone he deeply loved, but it's still for Wyn he was taking such a big step, because when it comes to Wyn, Jungkook doesn't remember anyone else anyway. Just then the priest spoke. Priest, do you, Jeon Jungkook, take Park Wyn to be your lawfully wedded wife, to live with her in sickness and health, in good times and bad, until death? Jungkook, yes I do, he said without any emotion. Priest, and do you, Park Wyn, take Jeon Jungkook as your lawfully wedded husband? She looked at Jungkook once. He was already looking at her, like his eyes were saying, you know what I can do. Seeing that, Wyn lowered her gaze. She didn't want to lose her dearest friend at any cost. Then, with a soft voice and little hesitation, she replied, Wyn, yes, priest, I now pronounce you husband and wife. Then priest announced them as husband and wife, and with a soft smile he turned to Jungkook and said, Priest, now you may, your bride. Wyn's breath got stuck in her throat. Her eyes, already tired and filled with emotion, suddenly went wide. Her heart started beating very fast. Even though this was only a ritual, her heart wasn't ready for it, because this marriage wasn't a fairy tale. It was a decision made out of helplessness. Jungkook slowly turned and looked at Wyn. There was a deep silence between them, but in that silence there was care, there was respect, and something unsaid, something only Jungkook could see in her eyes. He didn't want to hurt her more. He didn't want to force anything on her, not after what she had already suffered. So very gently he moved closer and softly placed a warm on her forehead. That wasn't about rituals. It was about protection, about comfort, about silently saying, you are safe with me now. Wyn slowly closed her eyes, not because she was shy, but because this wasn't just friendship anymore. The person standing in front of her wasn't just her best friend now, he was her husband too. This wasn't love, this was destiny, but not the one written by God. It was destiny written by humans. This was her pain, and in that pain, he became her only shelter. He stepped back slightly, his eyes fixed on her the whole time. No smile, no celebration. At that same time, everyone reached the church. Jungkook's parents, YN's parents, and all the others. Maria was also with them. Actually, Maria wasn't planning to attend this wedding either, only because of Jungkook. But when she somehow found out that Taehyung had run away without getting married, she decided to come just to act like she cared about YN, while actually planning to taunt her. But the moment she reached YN's home, she got to know that Jungkook had forcefully taken YN with him to the church to marry her. As soon as she heard that, she was completely shocked. Like everyone else, she also rushed to the church in a hurry, but she arrived too late. Maria, crying loudly, Jeon Jungkook. Seeing her, YN finally realized that her friend belonged to someone else. What had she done? She snatched someone else's love just to save her own life, just to avoid society's taunt. Tears began to flow again from her eyes. She stood helplessly, staring at Maria, and Maria, burning in anger, walked up to Jungkook, grabbed his collar, and shouted at him. Maria, why did you do this to me? If you always wanted to marry her, then why did you even keep a relationship with me? You always acted like we are just friends in front of everyone. Was this the kind of friendship you both had? In the end, you betrayed me. How could you do this to me, Jungkook? Before doing all this, did you not think about me even once? You are a traitor. I hate you, Jungkook. I hate you. Never show me your face again. She screamed through her tears and ran away from there. Jungkook stood frozen, head bowed. When YN saw that Jungkook didn't even react after everything Maria said, she herself ran after Maria, calling out to her, YN, Maria, please wait. Just listen to me, please. They had both come out of the church by now. Hearing YN's voice, Maria stopped and turned it around angrily. Maria, what do you want from me now? You already stole my love. I thought you were so innocent, but you took away the person I loved the most. You used to call him your best friend, right? And now you have married your best friend. Maria's words felt like thorns piercing YN's heart. Still, she tried her best to explain. YN, Maria, it's not like what you are thinking. Not at all. This marriage was just a helpless decision. You know how much Jungkook cares for me. He saw my condition and that's why he agreed to this marriage. Please don't worry. There's nothing between us. In just a few days, I will him and leave this city far behind. Just don't break your relationship with Jungkook. Maria, oh really? Wow, you both were so helpless, weren't you? Go tell that nonsense to someone else. Today you both got married in the name of helplessness, and tomorrow when you spend your life, you will say that was helpless too. Just then a loud landed on Maria's cheek. She was startled and looked up in shock. It was none other than Jungkook. Maria, burning with anger, shouted, Maria, how dare you? Jungkook, if you say one more word to YN, I swear it won't stop at its love. I will make you disappear from this world. You know very well that when it comes to YN, I forget who is standing in front of me. Still, you dare to say all this to her? YN, shut up, Jungkook. She is absolutely right from her side. Because of me, there is so much tension between you two. I am the reason behind all of this. Maria didn't have the courage anymore to say anything else against YN, so instead she angrily turned to Jungkook and said, Maria, congratulations on your wedding. I am breaking up with you. Saying this, Maria stormed off in anger. YN called out to her several times, but Maria didn't even look back once. Then, standing right there, YN began to cry, blaming herself, hating herself, thinking how her presence destroyed her friend's relationship. Seeing her like this, Jungkook walked up to her, gently held her face in his hands, and said, Jungkook, don't cry, YN. Everything will be okay. Always remember one thing, no matter how good we are, no matter how hard we try not to hurt anyone, unintentionally, we still end up becoming the villain in someone's life. YN, crying, why did you say that to her? Look, she broke up with you and left. You love her so much. What will happen now? Jungkook, nothing will happen, my love. You are with me, by my side. That's all I need. And if you are feeling guilty thinking she got angry and left me because of you, then don't. Her anger won't last long. You will see she will come back on her own. And even if she doesn't, I will go and talk to her and make her understand, okay? YN nodded, but her eyes were still filled with tears. Just then, YN and Jungkook's parents came over to them and said, YN's papa, son, I can understand that you married YN to save her dignity, to protect her from the world's taunt. But now, what will you do? Because you love someone else, right? Jungkook, please trust me, uncle. I but I can never hurt YN. Even if I have to spend my whole life like this, I will accept it. Once, Papa, I am fully sure that you will keep my daughter happier than I ever could. But still, Jungkook, don't you also have a life of your own? Jungkook, my life is your daughter. Hearing such a reply, Wan's father had no words left to say. He felt silent. Then Wan's mom spoke. Wan's mom, son, whatever I said to you earlier, I said it in anger. I am not mad at you, but I am angry at your brother. Still, if Wan ever suffers because of you again, I won't be able to bear it. Jungkook, auntie, tell me one thing honestly. Do you really think she could ever suffer because of me? On this, Wan's mom just gave a small smile and shook her head, saying no. Then Jungkook's dad spoke. Dad, I am proud of you, my son. Today, not only did you protect our family's honor, but you also give this girl a new life. He gently caressed Wan's head with affection. Then Jungkook's mom spoke. Mom, alright, you just talking now. Everything had fallen apart, but God made it all right again. Let's not talk about the past anymore. My poor daughter-in-law has been standing here for so long. She must be tired. Come on, take her home now. I have wanted to make this girl my daughter for so long. Finally, my prayers have been answered. She said this with a warm smile. Among all of them, only Jungkook's mom was truly happy despite everything that had happened, as if this was exactly what she had wanted all along, as if she had always wished for YN to become her daughter-in-law, but not as Taehyung's wife, as Jungkook's wife. Everything that happened today felt like the fulfillment of her long-held wish. Finally, YN got married to Jungkook, just like his mom had dreamed. She had already made up her mind. No matter what happens now, she won't let Jungkook and YN ever be separated. Her words brought soft smiles to everyone's face except YN and Jungkook. A little while later, after bidding goodbye to everyone, they left for home. Upon reaching the house, Jungkook's mom took YN to Jungkook's room and said, Mom, I know YN, you never imagined something like this would happen, but whatever is happening now, just try to accept it as something better than what was about to happen. My daughter, you know very well that Jungkook loves you deeply as his friend. He can never hurt you. You shall go fresh up. You must be tired. You have been in this room many times before, but today your emotions, your feelings, everything is different in this room. I will pray that you stay strong and that you are able to forget the past and make your present better and happier. Saying this, Jungkook's mom quietly left the room. Will Wan sat there silently, lost in her own thoughts. Downstairs, Jungkook's mom called him over to her and began to talk with him. Mom, Jungkook's son, I know you will take good care of Wan, but just taking care of her isn't your only responsibility. Jungkook, I don't understand, Mom. Mom, actually, I want you to give this marriage a real chance. Move forward in this relationship. Jungkook, but Mom, Wine? Mom, Jungkook, after everything that happened today, do you still think Wine has any love left in her heart for Taehyung? Her heart is wounded, broken, and I want you to heal that broken heart. Be her comfort, be her peace. Jungkook looked at his mom for a few seconds, then spoke. Jungkook, Mom, from the beginning you always wanted Won to marry me instead of Hyung, didn't you? Upon hearing his question, his mom just smiled softly. Jungkook, tell me honestly, Mom, does Hyung's sudden disappearance have anything to do with you? He said while staring at his mom with suspicious eyes. After hearing his words, his mom lightly smacked his shoulder and said, Mom, you little devil, just because you are my son, does that mean he isn't my son too? And why on earth would I do something like that to my own son? Look, child, yes, it's true that I always want to marry you. Because the love, the trust, and the unbreakable bond you both have since childhood, that is something very precious. And I never wanted that bond to end. That's why I thought if you both get married, your bond will become even stronger and last a lifetime. But I am not that kind of mother who will hurt one son for the sake of another. My Taehyung was never like this, but I don't know why he did something so disgusting today. Mom, feeling heartbroken, began to speak. Seeing his mom so upset, Jungkook immediately hugged her tightly and said, Jungkook, Mom, everything will be okay. Please don't cry. I'm here now. Mom nodded sadly. Okay, now you go. Wine must be waiting for you. Poor girl is already upset and nervous right now. She needs you more than anyone else.
Jungkook, okay mom, good night. Please take care of yourself. Mom, you too, and take care of YN. Then Jungkook went to his room, and as soon as he opened the door and stepped inside, he saw YN sitting in a corner crying silently. He quickly went near her, held her gently from the side, lifted her up, and made her sit on the bed. Then he sat down on the floor in front of her and rested his hand on her, saying softly, Jungkook, why are you crying? Is it because of Taehyung or because I married you? Or is it because of Maria? When I don't understand anything, Jungkook. The person I loved so much left me on the day of our wedding without saying anything. And my childhood friend, the one who loves me so much, the one I also love deeply, his relationship is at risk now because of me. Am I really that unlucky? Hearing Wyn's painful words, Jungkook slowly lifted his head from her stood up. He brought a chair and sat in front of Wyn. Then he gently held her hands in his own, which made Wyn look at him with teary eyes. At that moment, Jungkook began to speak softly and calmly. Jungkook, look Wyn, it's Hyung's bad luck that he left such a good girl like you. It's not your fault at all, and you are not unlucky. If you start thinking like that about yourself, then people will get more chances to say bad things about you. Never let yourself become so weak that people take advantage of it. And about my relationship with Maria, I told you not to think about it. It's also not your fault. I married you. You didn't force me. And she is just angry right now. In 2 or 3 days, when her anger cools down, I will go and talk to her. Everything will be fine, understand? Wine, with tears in eyes, nodded softly. Jungkook, now please cheer up, my love. You know how much your tears hurt me, right? Wine, Jungkook, then fix your mood and go freshen up in the washroom, okay? Wine, Saying this, woman went into the washroom. Slowly, she freshened up. She changed her dress, removed her makeup and jewelry, but still she didn't come out of the bathroom. She just sat there quietly because her mind was filled with thousands of thoughts, like how once she had stayed in this room before with this same person, but back then things were very different because at that time Jungkook was her friend, a very close one, but still just a friend. But now Jungkook is her husband. She was thinking deeply, can anyone in this world love her more than Jungkook? Can anyone care for her more than he does? Every time she was in trouble, no matter when or where, only one person came like a savior and saved her, and that person was always Jungkook. Can anyone ever love her like that? And the answer is maybe not. Because the love and care Jungkook gives her, it's beyond everything. No one else can ever do that for her the way he does. But thinking all this is useless because now in her best friend's life, who is more precious than life, there is someone special he loves, and that's Maria, Jungkook's girlfriend. And anyway, one just wants to see Jungkook happy and at peace. Very soon she will leave this city and go somewhere far, somewhere no one knows her and no one questions her life. Thinking all this, when she didn't came out from the bathroom for a long time, Jungkook got worried and suddenly started banging on the door loudly, calling her name again and again. His sudden loud banging on the door made Wayne scared for a moment, but then she controlled herself and quickly opened the door and came out. As soon as she came out, Jungkook hugged tightly. His whole body was trembling with fear. So many scary thoughts were running in his mind, and Wayne understood all that very well. She gently calmed him down and said softly to him, Wayne, it's okay, I am fine now, and don't worry, I understood what you were saying. I will never hurt myself or anyone again. Jungkook, then why were you taking so much time to come out? When actually I was just thinking about something. Jungkook, raising his eyebrows with curiosity. Oh, really? What were you thinking? When I was thinking how I could help you so that your relationship with Maria becomes like before again. Jungkook, you and help. Wherever you go, help runs away from there, he said, teasing her, trying to make her mood good. One staring at Jungkook angrily. What did you just say? One said there, and Jungkook quickly started running away, and One also began chasing him to catch him. Like that, both of them started running around the room. While running, they began teasing and making fun of each other. Because of that, One slowly started laughing. Seeing her laugh again, Jungkook felt peace in his heart. Finally, he made One happy again, made her smile once again.
Next morning, when opened her eyes, she saw Jungkook beside her and gently started kissing his face with a soft smile. Then suddenly she came back to her sense and realized that now she is not just with her best friend, but this friend is now her husband too. And she is in her in-laws' house. Thinking all this, she quickly sat up in a hurry. A strange kind of restlessness started building in her heart. She got down from the bed and went to the bathroom to freshen up. After getting properly ready, when she came out of the bathroom, she saw that Jungkook was still sleeping. So she quietly went downstairs. Seeing her, Jungkook's mom and dad felt very happy. With a warm smile, Jungkook's mom said to YN, "Mom, what happened, dear? Why did you wake up so early? You could have rested for some more time." "When I'm fine, auntie," she said with a little hesitation. Then Jungkook's mom held her hand gently and made her sit beside her on the sofa. She lovingly tried to make her understand and started speaking with care. "Mom, look, my dear, I know you are feeling nervous, worried, and upset. What happened with you is not easy to forget, but still you have to move forward. For those people who truly love you, your parents, your own family, they will feel so hard seeing you like this. And do you really want to see yourself in this condition? Why are you punishing yourself for someone else's mistake? Taehyung is my son, but that doesn't mean I will support all his wrong actions. What is wrong, no matter who does it. Don't punish yourself for his mistakes. Stay the way you were, strong and kind. And don't feel sad thinking about what happened to you. Instead, be happy knowing that what actually happened to you was more better than what could have happened." After saying this, Mom hugged YN tightly with love, and then Dad said, "Dad, child, you have become the daughter-in-law of this house, but that doesn't mean you have to do so many formalities. Stay the same as you were before with us. For us, you are like our own daughters, so forget about all the formalities except one." Dad's words made Wine look at him as if she was feeling a bit nervous, but then Dad smiled and said, "Dad, if you call me and your auntie as Mom and Dad, we will feel really happy, only if you don't have any problem with that." Wine smiled and replied, "Wine, okay, Dad." Dad felt happy hearing Wine's words and said in a fun, dramatic way, "Dad, finally, yes, finally I got a daughter, yahoo!" Seeing him act like that, Wine and Mom started laughing loudly. Just then, Jungkook was coming downstairs after getting ready, and when he saw his dad acting like that, he came near him with a confused face and asked, "Jungkook, what's the matter, Dad? Why are you so happy, Dad?" "I finally got a daughter. I prefer a daughter more than useless sons like you." Jungkook looked at his mom and asked in a teasing tone, "Jungkook, Mom, from where did your husband bring that girl to make her his daughter?" Jungkook said that, and Won started staring at him angrily, and Dad said angrily, "Dad, I didn't bring her from the street. I'm talking about your wife, your best friend, your life." Hearing that, Jungkook looked at Won nervously with a small smile. She was also still glaring at him angrily. Then Jungkook said, "Love, I was just joking." "Mom, really? But it didn't sound like a joke." Teasingly, Jungkook, "Mom, please." "Mom, alright, huge, now let's have breakfast." They started passing with smiles and laughter like this. One was also slowly becoming normal again, and she was starting to accept her fate. Just like that, 1 week passed. Both of them were exactly the same this whole week, just like how they used to before, as good and true friend. And on the other side, Jungkook's mom was trying her best to bring Wine and Jungkook together. Wine was also continuously telling Jungkook to fix his relationship with Maria, but every time Jungkook would avoid her words with some excuse. Finally, after getting fed up one morning, Wine angrily said to Jungkook, "Wine, Jungkook, today will you go and talk to Maria, or shall I go instead?" Angrily. Saying this, Wine turned to leave, but Jungkook quickly stopped her and said, "Jungkook, no, you don't need to be so kind to me. I will go." Wine is still angry. "Not will go. Go right now." Jungkook, "Right now? Why?" Wine, "Because you will change your words again. Go now or else I will go." Jungkook, okay, I am going." After saying that, Jungkook left from there. Then Wine also came downstairs after a while and started talking with Jungkook's mom. From morning to afternoon turned to evening, and evening into night. But still there was no sign of Jungkook anywhere, not even a single clue. Because of a strange unknown feeling, YN started feeling uneasy. In her heart, she began convincing herself that maybe Jungkook patched up with Maria and that's why both of them went out somewhere, or maybe they were spending time together. But still her heart was not ready to believe it. At night, while working in the kitchen with Jungkook's mom, she kept looking toward the door again and again, which made Jungkook's mom confused, and she asked her, "Mom, what happened? When is someone coming?" Confused look on her face. When, no, huh? No, Mom, it's just Jungkook hasn't come back. That's why. Mom, Jungkook, but he already came back long ago around 4 in the evening. When shocked, eyes wide. What? But Mom, when you and I were sitting in my room looking at old photos, I went outside to give tea to your dad. That's when I saw him going down upstairs. After hearing that, one got a little shocked. Jungkook came back after meeting Maria and didn't even meet her, but since evening she had gone to their room many times and he wasn't there. Then she went again to check in their room, but Jungkook still wasn't there. She even called his number, but his phone was lying in the room. After thinking for a while, one remembered the terrace tent house. One quickly ran towards the terrace, and the moment she reached, her eyes fell on Jungkook, who was sitting inside the tent house. Seeing him like that, a strange fear started growing in YN's heart. Just one thought filled her eyes with tears. What if they really broke up? Her thinking was valid because Jungkook's condition was saying everything without words. His eyes were swollen, maybe because he had cried a lot. He was sitting like a lifeless person, like he had no strength left. He didn't even realize someone had come to the terrace. Looking at him in this state, one's heart felt like it stopped for a second. One slowly walked closer to Jungkook and gently placed her hand on his shoulder while softly calling his name. When Jungkook, hearing Wan's voice, it felt like Jungkook came back to his sense. Only then he realized that Wan had come to the tent house. At first, Jungkook looked at Wan carefully, like he was trying to recognize her. Then, after staring at her for a few moments, he suddenly held tightly and started crying. Wan gently rubbed his back, and in a nervous voice, she asked him, "Why, Jungkook, what happened? Why are you crying so much? What did Maria say? I will go and talk to her so she can understand. I will try my best to make her understand." While saying all this, tears started falling from Wan's eyes because by now she had also understood that Ferret was exactly what had happened between. Then, with tears in his eyes, Jungkook began to speak to her. "Jungkook, there's no use now, when everything is over. Everything that was between us is finished. When what happened? Will you tell me clearly what exactly did Maria say? Didn't you tell her that we will be getting soon? Didn't you explain things to her calmly with love?" "Jungkook, how could I explain to her or say anything when she wasn't even here?" "When? What do you mean?" "Jungkook, she has left this country, gone far away. She's gone where? Far from me, far from all of us. She left me behind and went away." As soon as she heard that, it felt like Wan too got a sudden shock. Her mind was flooded with thousands of questions, but not a single word was coming out of her mouth. How could she leave Jungkook like this? Doesn't Jungkook deserve a second chance? Couldn't she give a little more time? Did she really not understand Jungkook at all? How is that even possible? How can God do this? This is all my fault. If Jungkook hadn't married me, Maria would have left him. What should I do now? How do I handle everything? The friend who stood by me in every pain, every trouble. Now how do I become his support in his pain? How do I help him through his broken heart? Fine, look, Jungkook, calm down, calm down. I will fix everything. Where did she go after leaving the country? Which country did she go to? We will go there. We will talk to her. We will make her understand, okay? Jungkook, she left the country with her parents. No one knows where they went. I tried a lot to find out about them, but nothing worked. It feels like they suddenly disappeared from here, like they just vanished without a trace. After saying this much, Jungkook started crying again. One was also feeling helpless and broken because she herself had no idea how to find out about Maria. Then one held Jungkook's face gently with both her hands and said to him, When my love, please stop crying. If you cry like this, it will hurt me. Please stop crying. Everything will be fine. There are just words of comfort because Wayne also knew that maybe now nothing can truly be okay. Because of for things to be okay, finding Maria is necessary, which seems almost impossible now. She herself has blocked every way to reach her. Wayne was lost in these heavy thoughts when suddenly her eyes moved toward Jungkook's face. Jungkook with his swollen teary eyes was just staring at her lips. Jungkook is not just a name, it's a name for whom one can do anything. Yes, for the world they don't love each other like a couple. But for one third, their bond is more than a friendship. Maybe if someday Jungkook had proposed to her, she would have said yes. That's how deep this connection is in her heart. It's not like a boy and girl can be friends, but the friendship, or we can say relationship between Wayne and Jungkook, whatever it is, it started changing from the moment they began to grow up. They started caring for each other more. They began giving each other more importance. They started showing their rights on each other and also give all the rights to each other. Even they become quite physically close to, which everyone must have already noticed. Yes, they never crossed the limits. But is that really true? Because the kind of closeness they had, is that really possible just in friendship? How can that even be possible? A boy and girl can be friends, they can be close to. Are they even this close like YN and Jungkook, where Jungkook talks about giving YN a? Are they ever that close where Jungkook wants YN that he will? Are they ever that close where they spend most of the together? Maybe not, because their relationship was never just friendship. One surely didn't say it as just friendship, because if she says Jungkook is just her good friend, her heart knows what Jungkook really means to her. A girl who hugs her boyfriend only normally and formally, that too just for a few seconds, but hugs her friend tightly, his forehead, spends time with him at night, talks with him for hours. Can this all be just friendship? No, it can be. But if she truly had feelings for Jungkook in her heart, then why did she get into a relationship with Taehyung? The answer is she herself wasn't aware of her feelings until now, and also she never ever wanted to lose Jungkook. But when Taehyung left her and went away, and at that moment when Jungkook didn't care about himself and married her just to save her dignity, at that very moment Wayne understood how much place Jungkook had in her heart and how much right he had over her. But because of Jungkook and Maria's relationship, she held herself back. She could never destroy her friend's happiness for her own joy, right? But after Maria suddenly left without telling anyone, Jungkook was very hurt. And in that pain and carelessness, he whined, she always wanted to help her friend in every condition. So when Jungkook, her heartbeat became faster. These nameless feelings inside Wine were increasing, and along with that there was a strange peace growing in her heart. Yes, her friend was doing this in a moment of pain and confusion, but still one didn't know why all this was feeling right and fair to her. Is this because of now Jungkook was her husband? But suddenly one moved her head back, and while looking into Jungkook's eyes, she asked. Her voice held pain and her eyes showed deep sadness. Why, is this just a way for you to forget your pain? Jungkook didn't understand at first. He looked at Wine with confusion. Then Wine spoke again. Wine, Jungkook, am I just a way for you to forget Maya? Her voice full of pain, her teary eyes, and that heart-piercing question made Jungkook feel like his heart was breaking. He pulled Wine into a warm hug. First, after a few moments, he held her cheeks in his hands, gently wiped her tears with his thumb, and softly said, Jungkook, when you are not something I would use for my own benefit, you are my life. I am glad you stopped me and asked this question. No matter what happens now, today I will tell you the truth, and whatever decision you take after that, I will accept it with all my heart. Hearing his words, YN got a bit confused and asked, "YN, what truth?" Jungkook took a deep breath, then looked into YN's eyes and said, "Jungkook, YN, I love you a lot, not just as a friend, but the way a boy loves a girl. I love you like that too." YN was so shocked that for a moment she sat frozen like a statue. Then Jungkook spoke. "Jungkook, YN, you are lying, right?" Jungkook, huh? Why would I lie in such a serious moment? When how is this even possible? You love Maria, right? How can you fall in love with me in just a few hours? Shock and confusion started mixing with one's head. Seeing her reaction, Jungkook gently held her waist and made her sit in his and began to speak calmly. But one had no idea that one shock after another was waiting for her now. "Jungkook, my love, I never loved Maria, and she never loved me either. When what? Jungkook, yes, all of this happened because of you. When because of me? Jungkook, tell me why, and Jungkook asked it in a soft voice. When what one's words also came out softly, but more than her voice, it was her breathing that spoke. Jungkook, why are you getting so jealous of Maria? Finally, Jungkook got the result of all his passion, his love, his obsession, his madness, or maybe call it fate. But one finally become his. One because I love you, Jungkook, I love you. As soon as Jungkook heard that, all his movements stopped. His eyes clearly showed happiness, shock, and pain. Jungkook, if you love me, then what was your relationship with Taehyung? You were about to marry him. When Jungkook, do you know why you and I have been so special and such a close friends since childhood? Jungkook didn't say anything. He was just looking at Wan silently. Then Wan herself continued speaking. When because we both are exactly the same. The way you kept our feelings hidden, I did the same. But I buried my feelings deep in my heart. Then I met Taehyung and slowly started getting attracted to him. I thought I had gained control over my emotion. I thought maybe now I can move on from you. But it was just a thought. It didn't really happen. On the day of wedding when Taehyung ran away and you married me instead. That's when I truly realized that my heart had never really let go of its love for you. That's when I felt that no matter how hard I try, the love I have for you in my heart will never end and it will never fade. But still, I hate my love, buried it inside me, and was trying to send you to Maria for your happiness. While saying all that, tears started falling from one side. Jungkook quickly pulled her into a, and tears were also falling from his eyes. In Jungkook's heart, one thought kept repeating: if Taehyung hadn't run away on the wedding day, then YN would have been married at him, and even though they loved each other so much, they would have still ended up apart. Just because of the fear of losing their friendship, both of them had kept their love hidden deep inside their heart. But would YN really have married Taehyung? Was it really fate that brought YN and Jungkook together, or was there someone else who changed the fate itself? That only time will tell. For now, let's focus on YN and Jungkook. Jungkook gently pulled YN away from his chest and looked into her eyes. Jungkook, I love you, my love. I can do anything for you, anything. YN, I love you too, baby. I knew it, but I never knew my monkey actually loved me this much. Why, Jungkook, you won't do that? Jungkook is making. And why do you think I won't? Did you forget, sweetheart, that now you are my wife? I have every right to love you One, just because you have the right, will you show your love in front of everyone? Jungkook, everyone loves secretly behind doors, within four walls, but showing that love to the world and keeping it alive, not everyone knows how to do that. But I will. I will love you openly in front of everyone, in such a way that people will witness my madness for you. People should also realize love like that, so strong that even destiny fails to separate you from your beloved. Jungkook's words made YN smile softly, and she gave a gentle on his forehead. Then both of them returned to their room. It was already quite late, so YN quickly took a bath and somehow managed to get ready in a hurry. She didn't apply any makeup, nor did she even look in the mirror. If she had, she might have noticed how deeply Jungkook had left the marks on his love on her. She rushed downstairs, and as she reached the living room, she saw mom and dad sitting untalking. Jungkook was also sitting with them. Jungkook and dad were just about to leave for the office when Wan came there. As soon as Jungkook saw her, he began smiling, his gaze fixed on her, which made Wan feel confused. Dad was about to say good morning to Wan, but the moment his eyes landed on her, he stopped for a moment. He was completely shocked. Then, trying to hide his surprised expression behind a small smile, he quietly left the house without saying anything, which made Wayne even more confused. Just then, Mom stood up from the sofa, smiling warmly while saying, "Mom, good morning, my child. Sit down. I will get you breakfast." Mom couldn't finish her sentence because the moment her eyes landed on Wine, she was completely shocked. After staring at Wine in a surprise for a few seconds, Mom finally spoke. "Mom, child, did you not look in the mirror this morning?" Wine confused. "No, Mom. How did you know?" Mom, smiling softly, nodded. Mom was overflowing with happiness. Finally, her long-held wish had come true. After having breakfast, Wine went upstairs to her room. But after seeing the way Mom and Dad reacted downstairs, she had a little doubt in her mind. As soon as she entered her room, she quickly went straight to the mirror. And the moment she saw herself in the mirror, she felt like she got a mini Jungkook. Taehyung, let's stop talking about this now. Let's go home. At least let's tell everyone that you didn't run away, but I was the one who made you disappear. Taehyung, no, Jungkook. If we say that, everyone will ask you the reason behind it, and when that happens, Maria's truth will come out. So it's better if I just say, on the wedding day, I ran away because I realized that YN and Jungkook truly love each other, and if I step aside, maybe they can be together. That's why I'm left. Jungkook, Hyung, why are you taking the blame for my mistake? Taehyung, don't be upset, Jungkook. You are my little brother. I can at least do this much for you. Both brothers hugged each other tightly again. They both returned home, and just like they planned, Taehyung said the same thing in front of everyone. After explaining a lot and convincing them, finally their parents forgave him, and so did Wine. Then suddenly, Mom spoke to Taehyung. "Mom, learn something from your little brother. We never imagined he'd give us such a happy news this soon." Hearing this, Jungkook and Taehyung looked at each other confused. Then Jungkook asked his mom, "Jungkook, what happy news? What did I do?" Totally confused. Just then, Jungkook's dad placed his hand on Jungkook's shoulder and said, "Dad, my son is going to be a father now." Hearing his dad's words, Jungkook was completely shocked. Will Taehyung smiled happily. Then Taehyung congratulated YN and Jungkook, but Jungkook was still stuck in shock. Then his dad asked, "Dad, what happened to Jungkook?" His dad's voice brought Jungkook back to his sense. He quickly ran to YN, her on the face, and with excitement lifted her up in his arms and started spinning around joyfully. Then suddenly his dad shouted, "Dad, put my daughter down right now. If anything happens to her, I won't spare you." Jungkook, "Dad, she is also my wife and the mother of my future child." Dad, "Yes, and she is also my daughter-in-law, and the mother of my future grandchildren. Now put her down." Everyone burst into laughter at their cute argument.